Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. I've got an extra special guest here on the channel. It's Mr. Jeary, Jeary Football, joining us, drafting some teams, talking RB values. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. We've been trying to make this happen for a while, so I'm glad we
I know.
finally can. And dude, we already know we're going to draft some good teams.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. We've already jumped into a best ball mania draft. It's starting in 30 seconds. Let's see what draft spot we get. Ooh, drafting out of the 9. How do you like this side of the board?
I've been getting it a lot lately. I was getting a lot of like top 3-4 picks pretty early after the draft, but been getting a lot of late round lately, and it's a decent pocket because sometimes you can get a nice player to fall to you. Sometimes you can reach, get a little weird, and get some values in the 3rd and 4th round still as well.
I like that. Double tapping when it feels like the end of the first round is pretty ambiguous, and the beginning of the second round, maybe some of those guys are like actually first round values. And then my least favorite pick right now is like the very beginning of the 3rd round, especially if your favorite clicks aren't there and you're kind of like pick 28, 29, like, do I pull someone up? What do I do here? So I don't mind this part of the board at all.
Yeah, the 3rd round feels pretty gross right now. And I mean, around like pick 9, the guy that I've been taking the most recently is James Cook. Talking about running back values, I was taking
Nice.
Gene T over him early on, but
Sure.
I kind of just think we've been getting bored with James Cook, and there's no reason he shouldn't just smash again this year.
Makes sense to me. Question for you, and I know the answer, but I want to go down the list. Talking running backs, are you Gibbs or Bijan?
Detroit, baby.
Hey, there it is.
Gibbs 101 all the way. Come on now.
No doubt. No doubt. Shout out to our guys in the chat. We got Jeff T here. Boom. We got Adam from Nice and Blunt. Adam and I did a stream last night. Great dude. Make sure you guys check him out. We got Jeremy, a.k.a. the Icon, drafting right in front of us in the 8 spot. He goes JT. We're here, and we're making our pick. Jeary, how you feeling on this one?
I would take James Cook. Like that's my favorite pick right now.
Okay.
Who I think is I would even take him above Jonathan Taylor at this point.
Wow. I mean, he's on the Bills. He led the NFL in rushing last year. He's been smashing. He's consolidating that backfield. He's probably their best weapon on offense, I would say, outside of just the fact that Josh Allen is a weapon in himself. But I can see it. He's going a little bit undervalued. People think he's, for some reason, not in the same tier as the Gibbs and the Bijans, but
he also plays the Dolphins week 17. That's kind of juicy.
It's not a bad matchup. They are on the road. I've been looking more into it because obviously the week 17 matchup against Miami is a nice one. And it looked like the Bills team total was pretty low. I was like, why is it? It was like, I have it right here. It's like 20. The Bills are 27.5 implied points against Miami. But the Packers are 28 points implied against Miami in week 15 because the Packers are at home. The Bills are on the road. I mean, we know the Packers aren't as strong as an offense as the Bills. So I was like, why is the total different? And it really is just that home and away difference. So being on the road for Buffalo last year when they played at Hard Rock Stadium, they lost 30-13, like kind of crazy. The divisional matchups, you forget they get close sometimes. We got a lot of good picks. What are we doing here?
I like Chase Brown the most. If you want to get week 17, you could go with Achane, but I like Chase Brown.
We have to force it. I like all these picks. Chase Brown, Achane, Derrick Henry, just stud running backs. I like about Chase Brown is the Bengals are similar to the Bills, one of the highest scoring teams projected for the entire season, for the playoff weeks. The highest point total for week 17 is that, I think it's the highest or it's the second highest, is the Ravens and the Bengals. So should be a great matchup. Chase Brown's consolidating those touches in the backfield. Kind of doesn't get as much love either. Like James Cook and Chase Brown, people are just like, they're okay. And there are seriously like elite running back talents, like who have got those backfields locked down.
Yeah, when Joe Burrow's healthy, Chase Brown is just, I mean, he's damn good. And the only thing that concerns me about that Bengals Ravens game is that it's on Thursday Night Football. And I feel like in
Mm,
recent years, the Thursday games and last year we even had games on Wednesday. They didn't turn out so good for fantasy.
that's true. I actually didn't remember that it was the Thursday game, but now it's gonna stick. We got
It's not
B
going to make
Fred in
me
here. Yeah, it's a data point. It's a data like it's not gonna make you not click it, right?
no.
Yeah.
No, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, B Fred. I think it was either you or somebody else asked a similar question to this in like a managed redraft league. If you can get Gibbs and Bijan, do it. Just win your league and don't care about the picks that come after. Like that's for me, that's easy. Like I do an auction for my home league, and I've done stars and or like studs and duds is kind of like a strategy where you just take two or three players really, really high, expensive, and then just fill the rest of your roster. So I think if you can do that, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, I actually do an auction for one of my home leagues too. The one that I've been
Nice.
doing the longest. And dude, it's
Nice.
fun.
It's
It's
so
fun.
fun.
I plan on streaming it this year too, because none of those
Oh,
guys
really?
even know that I do any streaming or anything. So
Okay.
I think it would be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
fun.
Your oldest home league, so it's a bunch of like is it high school friends, college friends, or just
People I played football with when I was like 18.
nice. We're on the clock just like that. We've got James Cook and Chase Brown.
I mean,
Tyron's
I'm good
there.
to go with.
T.
I would go with T Higgins. Get our
Yeah,
first receiver. Get a little Cincinnati stack. I don't mind that whatsoever.
I don't mind it either. T's fun. He's explosive. Big play waiting to happen. The touchdowns. Healthy Joe Burrow. Now, do we consider though? Would we want to take Joe Burrow at 64, or are you okay passing on the Joe Burrow later? We have that decision to think about how we plan our team out.
Yeah, it kind of depends who's available in the 6th round. I usually end up taking one of the quarterbacks because the skill position players feel pretty dry.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. If it was, you could take Jaden Daniels, Drake May, or Joe Burrow, would you lean Joe Burrow in the situation where you already have Chase Brown and Higgins? Or would you still like stick to, and I don't know what your rankings are, but let's like whoever's highest ranked.
I don't know how weird you want to get.
I don't know. It's
I,
Basketball Mania. We
I,
got to win $2 million,
well,
brother. We got to figure it out.
shoot. I mean, me and Nice and Blunt, we had a little thing in the big board where in the 4th round
Yep.
we pulled up Terry, and then round 5 we took Jaden, round 6 we took Burrow. I mean, I'm not saying we have to do it, but it's kind of fun.
Double elite QB.
I don't know if I would do that in Best Ball Mania though.
It's like that meme from Arrested Development. It's like it never worked for those people, but maybe it'll work for us.
Maybe. I mean, we landed the plane when we did in the big board. I would take
It sounds like a fire
Garrett
team.
or T-Mac would be my guys. Ooh, but Kyron's still there.
A little fall on Kyron, almost 10 picks. I'm tempted to do it. I like the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
The theme of this team is good, like good offenses. These are just the best offenses.
Yeah, I'm an ADP value hound for sure.
Love it.
Now the thing is, when we take our 3rd running back there, I feel like we need to take a receiver round 5, and then if we take Burrow round 6, we really got to hammer the receivers in the later rounds.
I would agree with that. We probably also kind of push tight end a bit. It's the easiest thing to make up later with, quantity over quality at tight end. We're going to have really quality running backs. I think we can still sneak in some good wide receiver values, but you're not wrong that like we have to make up ground at wide receiver. We can't afford, and we think we might go Burrow. We might let's see what we get gifted here. Cause I'm an ADP bro as well. I also think ADP is a construct but the part, like I'm on both sides. I believe in like the draft capital curve, and it relates perfectly to our auction drafts. In your auction draft, you're going to spend up huge for the best players. And then when everyone's out of money, you can get, you could get a ton of guys for $1 or $2 that are not that different than someone that very early in the auction, someone paid like 15 for, right? And like, oh, you shouldn't have paid 15 at the beginning of the draft. You could have got this guy later for 2 or 3. There's always that situation. I feel very strongly that once we get to the 130s, 140s, ADP is a complete construct. I think it makes more sense to scroll down and get different and draft just good structure. But up top, I love the ADP values.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So when you're scrolling down and picking a guy, who's your favorite guy to go and reach for?
At the end of drafts,
I would say second half of drafts, round
second half
11
of
plus,
drafts.
let's say.
That's a great question. Let me think about that just a bit. Who have I been? Who am I higher exposed to that I've been reaching down for? Right now, Omar Cooper's one of them, I'll say. And sometimes you can get him at a decent value, but it's kind of that weird wide receiver zone. If I can get him as like a wide receiver 5 or 6, he's got the rookie upside. He's a first round pick. So I'm intrigued by that, even though he's on the Jets.
Oh boy.
Tate or Watson, interesting to you?
Yeah. I think we
Tyson?
need to go with Watson on this team. I would take
Yeah.
Watson over Tate.
Okay. I would think I would agree.
I think I mean, Carnell Tate, fourth overall pick, has a high ceiling, but if Christian Watson can actually stay healthy the whole year with no Romeo Dobbs, no Dontavian Wicks, then he should smash his ADP.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get him enough. I don't know what the reason is. I'm not out on him or anything. It's just in this range, like I do find myself usually taking running backs here. And then I kind of wait to see which of the younger wide receivers fall to the 6th round. It kind of feels like for me. So then I end up more with Brian Thomas, who was taken earlier here. Carnell Tate or Tyson are usually there. Same thing for like Marvin Harrison or Lemon. I was taking a bunch of Marvin Harrison for a while. I've kind of cooled off just how bad could the Cardinals be, but I like the talent.
Yeah, the just being on the Cardinals is a little scary to me.
Yeah.
But they do have a really juicy playoff schedule.
True. We'll dive into that after this pick. We're gonna have the
Tate's
we're
off
gonna
the
have the
board
choice.
too.
So like Burrow's there, May, Daniels, right?
I think we just take Burrow.
I think so too, because we have like the double.
Then we can stop at 2 quarterbacks too, and
We could.
I don't know if it like Marv could be worth reaching on because he is a wide receiver 1 on his team. And similar to
Yeah.
Christian Watson, if he does break out and he does stay healthy the whole year, then he's going to smash his ADP.
True.
But there's some guys in the next couple rounds that I feel pretty good about at wide receiver and their value.
Yeah. With Marvin Harrison, he is the wide receiver 1. He's kind of the alpha. Right. Like, how good is the team? How many points are they scoring? Is the QB situation stable over the season, or does it deteriorate into like a Minshew or a Beck situation? And then also, Trey McBride's the number 1 target earner, and they just invested their top pick into Jeremiah Love. So to me, Marvin Harrison feels like the forgotten, like lost toy, where like he was the shiny new first round pick 2 years ago. He could have a year 3 breakout. We know he's super talented, but he's just not the engine of the offense like the McBride and the Love are going to be. So to me, it's like, yeah, I don't think he's a bad pick. I can just see the faults.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was in on McBride not McBride, Marvin Harrison last year. I was in on McBride too. But yeah, that one hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, I've never been out on Harrison. I probably still have above the field just because for a while there I was really hammering him in this range. If it didn't make sense for me to go quarterback here, but I think I've kind of come around. I think all of the quarterbacks are a good value in round 6. Like, I don't think there's a terrible QB pick there. The question is like, do I even want to take a quarterback that early, or do I want to keep waiting and just get like a deeper QB value instead of kind of paying up for the elite tier or like the second elite tier?
Yeah, I feel like I've built good teams both ways. Sometimes when I start like 3 running backs, 5 receivers, or 4 and 4, and you land the plane at quarterback and tight end, it feels extremely strong. But a lot of times, if I try and push it and it doesn't land, I really regret not just taking the quarterback.
Yeah. Do you have a late kind of like pull the cord parachute late QB that you have got way too much of because you take them when you need that late second or even like a third guy?
I wouldn't say too much, but I would say it's probably Rodgers because you can backstack him. And my like break glass in case of emergency would be Tua.
Okay. Yeah. We're back on the clock here. Jaden Reed's available. Sutton, Godwin, Addison.
I would personally reach for Godwin.
Okay.
That would be my choice.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think it gives some stability to the wide receiver room. Jaden Reed, we already have Christian Watson. Sutton, like, give me Michael Pittman over Cortland Sutton happily.
Sure.
And yeah, I like some Chris Godwin. If he actually does just bounce back healthy, I think he still has one more good year left in him.
He's been a guy that can earn targets. We get a bounce back from Baker Mayfield. I could totally see it. You have the target vacuum of Mike Evans not being there anymore. Of course, you got all this young talent competing for those targets, but they could be a team that passes a bunch as well. And then Rashad White, some targets gone there. Just we'll see what the offense looks like. So I think Godwin's he's a decent value. Like I don't mind him at all. Tampa Bay's a fun piece. Week 17 against Kyron. There's little tie-ins there, and we definitely need the wide receiver, someone who can earn targets if he's healthy.
Yeah, when I feel a little thinner at receiver, that's usually who I go with. I think Kraft or Addison would be nice on this team. I don't have much Kraft, but when he falls, we have Christian Watson. That doesn't feel so bad. Addison, if we want to get another receiver too.
Who do you like the best, Kraft or Addison?
You pick.
Let's go Kraft.
We went with
Let's
Kraft.
go Kraft. Yeah, a little
Past
ADP
ADP.
value and the team stack with the Packers kind of sold me.
Yeah, I just look at like receivers in the next couple rounds, and there are some guys I do like. Like one reason I would prefer Christian Watson over Cardinal Tate when our only receiver is T. Higgins is because I love Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he's pretty undervalued. You get a great floor when you have a thin receiver room, and he had some real spike weeks last year.
What do you think as we come back around? Obviously, we can go Love if he's there. We have a one. Let me review the team for us just to kind of see what we've got. It's a 1-3-3-1. Joe Burrow, James Cook, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams. A nice, almost 10 picks past ADP. Kyron Williams. So we've got a really solid running back room. The wide receivers with T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, and then the tight end Tucker Kraft. Very balanced build. Let's assume we're going to be targeting Jordan Love either at the 105 or the 112. We can make that decision and see the guys to the right of us, like what they might do. This guy, Bo Nose, doesn't have a single quarterback yet. He's got Jaden Reed, so there could be some risk in pushing it. But like, what would it take? What players would be available at the 105 for you to not want to just go ahead and take Jordan Love? Jordan Love's ADP is 118, so there's probably a good chance we get him at 112. I'm going to show you the QBs based on ADP who are still available. Maybe it gives us a buffer. Stafford, Bo Nix, Goff, Murray, and then Love.
I'm just always willing to try and push quarterback, especially in Best Ball Mania, especially when sometimes Baker Mayfield falls to 130. Ricky Pearsall, when we're desperate for a receiver, would be a pretty nice fall. Jacoby Myers, not bad either, but if I had one draft, I would take Wan'Dale for Jacoby.
Okay.
If we want, let's see the whole ADP.
Yeah, here's ADP. Fannin, Stafford, Myers, Nix, Gainwell, Rashad White. And then the quarterbacks were on the clock.
Yeah, I would take Jacoby or Wan'Dale here and then let the quarterback come back to us. I think getting the receiver we want is more important.
And you think Wan'Dale's the guy you want? Let's do it.
I personally think Wan'Dale is a better pick than Jacoby.
I've liked Wan'Dale. He was a guy I was hammering last year a bunch. He was pretty cheap last year, but consistent target earner on a new team. We'll kind of see how that plays out. I'm optimistic. This guy might just double tap QB. He's got Jaden Reed, so I'm a little skeptical that he might go for Love. He probably also needs receiver. He could be looking at the tight ends. Fannin went.
I mean, if we feel desperate for a quarterback, even if we took Baker at our next pick, I would straight up think Baker outscores Jordan Love too. If he stays healthy the whole year.
Right? Similar tier.
I think they're in the same tier. I think he's undervalued because he got injured.
Yeah. And so Stafford goes, Kyler goes, Bo Nix, Goff, and Love. Yeah, he's kind of hammering him in this QB pocket here. The available QBs would be. Go ahead.
I was going to say he could take Bo Nix with Harvey there too.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to take Love. You're right.
There we go.
Goes Bo Nix. I mean, but you're right. Bo Nix was higher in ADP. We should be able to snag Love here at 112. I think that's the obvious click, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's easy unless you want to try and push it. But I think we take Love. Jacoby's not really exciting.
Yeah, no one else really has any Packers pieces
There he
except for
goes
Josh
too.
Jacobs here. Yeah, and then Myers went anyways. Let's just do Jordan Love.
Yeah, easily stop at 2 quarterbacks now. Are you a two or three quarterback guy?
So over the years I've kind of changed. I think last year I was like 65-35 3 QB. Now I'm like 80-20 3 QB. I'm like
Way
pretty
more 3
heavily.
QB. Okay.
Yeah, way more 3 QB. Almost like cuz I don't like the way that I build teams. If I need a 6th running back, if I need an 8th or ninth receiver, so I'm almost always getting 3 at the onesies, but I mix in, 2 QB teams, 2 tight end teams. I just like to have really strong running backs and receivers so that I don't feel like I need to keep tacking on like late guys that I have a little faith in that maybe could be fancy zeros, or I think there's a reason they go so late, and it's kind of because like the tight end values late are good. I think even the QB values late are consistently good in these best ball tournament, like large field tournaments. Last year it was Daniel Jones. You could have got it ADP 200. Stafford was in the 170s and the 150s. So there's always just Dart was pick 200. Shuck was a past pick 200. There's always something there that we're like missing, and so I try to keep that in mind, and that's where I end up just going for maybe those positions over a running back that's in the last round, like a Nick Singleton, or who knows if they're the RB2 or 3 on their team.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The only thing is like the Stafford prices when he was going like 170, Daniel Jones 200. I don't know if you're going to get that same production from guys like Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith, and Tua this year, or like any of the Browns guys. I think the
True.
quarterbacks are a little more pushed up in general, which is why I kind of like leaning towards these round 6 guys, and sometimes even double tapping them if they fall to round 7 too. I quite like the
Definitely.
teams I make with those.
I don't mind doing that. I feel like the urge to do it because you get quality picks there. I like to make myself a little bit more uncomfortable at QB or try to go for some late stacks, but I mix it all in. I do all different types of team builds. Like I just let the board kind of come to me. But just what I find myself, doing more often, those 3 QB builds. Okay, we were back on the clock here. We have one tight end. We could do Ferguson, Shakir's there, Coker, Shaheed.
Shakir's a safe pick. My favorite guy is Shaheed. I'll go Shaheed, Coker, then Shakir.
Yeah, let's do Shaheed. Shaheed's fun. I was going to
Yeah.
say we probably go wide receiver first and then kind of figure it out. There's no running backs here that I feel like we have to have. I don't really like any of these picks.
On this team, I don't think it's quite necessary.
Yeah.
I think we would either take another receiver or a tight end. It kind of depends who you think is going to fall to us in like the 150s. And like in the past, I like the tight ends that fell to the 150s when you could get Chig and Strange there, but that doesn't really happen anymore. So kind of lean towards maybe a second tight end here and then getting more receivers later. I really like Goddard, but he just went.
Me too. Goddard and Ferg are my preferred tight ends here. And then if both of them are gone, they both go. Do we want to pivot and just get another wide receiver and kind of be done earlier at wide receiver?
I'm always happy to catch up at receiver. Isaiah Likely's there too. I don't know how you feel about him. I don't click him a lot.
I don't have any.
I like Jalen Coker too, and then I feel like we've caught up well at receiver. Are you in on Coker?
Yeah, I like Coker. Do you want to take him?
Yeah.
I liked what he did against the Rams in the playoff game. Had a big week, earned a bunch of receptions, had a touchdown. I see the upside. He's like relegated Xavier Legette to the bench essentially, and he's become their number 2. He could be their number 2 in targets. I don't think it's crazy. T-Mac's the main guy, right? But Coker is interesting. It's not too expensive either.
Yeah, dude, I find myself in on the Panthers this year. Unfortunately, the Panthers passing game, mainly because like I'm pretty out on the running backs, and I think they might just have to throw it more. Like I draft a lot of Tet, I draft a lot of Coker, and I really like Bryce Young's price. If you're talking about a third quarterback, like
Yes.
160s, sometimes in the 170s. So I like that how it sets up there, and it's usually pretty bye week friendly too.
When earlier I was asking you about like your preferred late QB picks, I was gonna say my favorites. It's typically Daniel Jones. He's getting a little bit more expensive. He used to be no one wanted him. He was cheap, but the injury news has been, I guess, positive. I still think Bryce Young is one of the best QB picks on the board. I don't see him getting benched. Their offensive line is going to be good. They're adding weapons. They were a playoff team last year. Like there's a lot of, I'd say, undervaluing the Panthers as a whole. So that's like the range where we see QBs like actually pay off. Trevor Lawrence was picked 155, I think, last year. Maybe not that late. Maybe it was 130 or 140, but like Trevor Lawrence was going late. Like he surged up, new coaching. So there's some differences. But yeah.
Yeah, playing for a contract too. We've seen quarterbacks take time to develop.
Yeah.
Tight ends are still here too, which is quite nice. I think we take one of these tight ends.
Who's your favorite of these three?
I would say Strange is my favorite.
I'm open to it for sure. I like any piece of the Jaguars offense for me is going to be interesting. The Chargers too, but and I'm not, it's hard to figure out what's going on with the Chargers right now in terms of their tight ends. A little bit.
Yeah, I read a good report recently on Gadsden about being more involved in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I'm thinking about it, like, am I really worried about David and Joko and Charlie Kolar? Like, I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah.
With our next pick,
Yeah,
if you want to if you want to get a running back, if there's one you really like, we could take him. But I'm also pretty open to getting Debo or Flournoy and stopping, or Trey Tucker and stopping at 7 receivers. Feeling really caught up.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any late receivers I want. Maybe Bateman or like Surratt could be interesting for, against Burrow week 17. With Jordan Love, we could do like Knoll late.
Yeah, let's
Debo
see
and Tucker
running
both
backs.
go. Yeah, running backs would be Coleman, and then it's Charbonnet, who's going to miss some time. Algiers there, Bigsby's there.
Yeah,
B-Rob.
I like Tank Bigsby more than I like Jonah Coleman.
He goes.
Oh, he goes. My goodness. I don't have any Jonah Coleman yet. We could take Hunter Henry, though, and be done at 3 tight ends. Is this someone you really want?
Gesicki later, I think. Which one do you want to do? Algier, B-Rob?
B-Rob's nice.
Fuck, I didn't get it.
Oh, we got Henry. Yeah, dude, these 20-second clocks sometimes.
With a guest, with the chat, and we've been ignoring the chat. I gotta catch up, say what up to the chat. Double tap tight end. Let's just be done at tight end. And maybe it's a 4 tight end build. If we get Gesicki later, we don't have to have Gesicki. I don't think he's a key piece.
Have you drafted any Eric All?
Nah, I've heard people talk about him in the chat. I've looked him up. Haven't gotten there yet, though. Not that desperate yet. I don't think it's crazy, but it's a little bit of a thin bet, I would say, to go for like a late, even who knows who could pay off. But did you take him like a 3 tight end build or like a 4 tight end build?
I think it was a 3. I can find the draft. I know I titled it All In.
Nice.
It was
if you would have said 2, if you would have said 2, that would have threw me right there. I'd have been like, wow, that's pretty ballsy.
2, no. Maybe if I had Bowers, I would. I'm not afraid to get a little thin, get a little freaky out here.
Okay. Shout out to Hartman. Hartman and I did a stream on Tuesday night, cutting it up. Always good to see you, brother. I'm way behind. I'm catching up. We got Charles in the chat. What's up? Yeah, we booked a soccer legend tonight. If you guys don't already know, that was funny. You did that. You kind of leaned into it, and then you posted that video. I was cracking up.
Dude, I got more videos too. Like I need to go through it. And I gotta put them together and post them before the
end of the World Cup.
No momentum. Yeah, I gotta get on it. So the tight end room. Oh my goodness, I forgot that this is literally my most disgusting tight end room I built in a Best Ball Mania. But it is Aronde Gadsden at pick 158, Greg Dulcich at 182. And then Eric All at 206.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. The rest of the teams, It's kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the symptom of drafting for 150 straight days. That's how you get to that. No one has that unless they've seen the things you've seen. Like you're experienced out here. That's what it takes. No one's doing that on their first draft. Let me tell you that.
Hey, it's called a diverse portfolio.
Exactly. And like
Okay, let's
Hawkinson's
see what
still
we're
there.
doing here.
We need running back sooner than later.
Yeah, we do.
Or just take some of our favorites. Like who would we want to go with?
Jaden Blue's a fun dark throw. Ray Davis. We have James Cook. So I'm
a little early.
Handcuff range right here.
Any wide receivers you like here?
I'm not afraid to take Jeary or Branch or Adnai.
Let's do Jeary. He might get traded. He was kind of ass last year. Like he was bad down the stretch, but 2 years ago he was great, and we know he's like higher pedigree, veteran player. I would love for him to get traded somewhere and just have a different role and not be on the Browns, because it feels like they have the youth movement. They're bringing in Fannin and then KC and Denzel, new coach, right? So there's a lot of change. Can they get Jeary out of there? Maybe he goes to a team that would like to have another wide receiver. Falcons, Colts, I don't know, Raiders.
Yeah, with like our receiver room though, getting a guy who's probably just going to get points and not be a zero, I think feels pretty good.
Definitely.
Let's see the running backs available. Jaden Blue does go.
Crazy. I thought for sure he wouldn't go this early. He's getting steamed up a bit.
Yeah, are there any like guys you really like down here? Because I'm pretty.
No, I hate all of these running backs.
I
don't like being in the situation, but I don't actually love Sean Tucker. I've been talked into it a little bit. I like Katron as a swing.
Yeah, they're all pretty gross. We really pushed it. Sean Tucker, I guess, feels fine. I don't know if I can get there on Marshawn Lloyd yet. Still, I know he's getting hyped up, and we have Packers, but it's
still no. We have Godwin too. There's some team synergy with Tucker. Maybe we get one good game. Emo was telling me yesterday when we took Tucker on a team that Bucky Irving didn't have a single touch inside the 5-yard line last season. It's like, okay, well, maybe this is a role that where Rachaad White was kind of like their goal line back. Maybe Tucker can be some more of that guy. So maybe we're just getting some lucky touchdowns, 3 or 4 touchdowns across the season, hitting the flex, and maybe that 1 30-point game that he's kind of notorious for.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, Gainwell's had one good year in the league, right? Like, is he a one-hit wonder? I draft a lot of Gainwell, so I hope not. But you never know with Sean Tucker. Now, my favorite, like, round 18 click, sometimes take him around 17. I like me some Kalen Black as a little dart throw on San Francisco's backup to CMC. I don't know how you feel about him. I don't have any real reasons or analytics to back that up. That's just a complete vibes dart throw.
It's just a bet against McCaffrey, who's coming off of 453 touches if you include the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, who knows? Jordan James didn't touch the ball last year. There's been some values in some years to the pieces, the San Francisco pieces. Brian Robinson last year was kind of hard. He didn't really get much usage. So because McCaffrey was just so dominant, they just couldn't get him off the field.
Yeah, it's pretty much a pure handcuff bet and like contingent upside for McCaffrey. But those are kind of just the guys I usually end up taking down here, who, if something does happen, could just win your league.
Oh, I wanted to let you know the ranks in here are, I just uploaded the leg up ranks from like 2 days ago. So they're pretty current, but you keep seeing like this weird stuff. It's just leg up ranks in there. And I wasn't using ranks. I was using like my own ranks or just no ranks for all of my drafts until literally this week. But I was like, oh yeah, let me just upload the ranks and see what they're thinking. So that's what you're seeing. The reason I keep going back to ADP. Any interest in another QB? Looks like no. They dried up. This is 17th round. Go another running back. We could do
Braylon Allen. We could do Justice Hill. We could do Kalen Black. George Halani. I don't know if you're one of those guys. I don't really take him.
Any interest in Justice Hill or Pirine with the whole?
I like Justice Hill.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. No, I would take Emmanuel Wilson over Holani. I can't get there with Holani.
Do we
I
want to
just don't
go
like
6
fancy
running
zeros.
backs or do we want to go
Probably
8
not.
receivers?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, probably not. We're definitely good with just those two little tacked on guys.
We could take a Baltimore piece if we
Ooh,
want at
yes.
receiver.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I think that's a good. We could do Surratt for rookie upside, Bateman for a bounce back year. I mean, he was good 2 years ago. He was bad last year. People quickly forget.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's tough. Bateman's just like the flavor of the week, I feel like.
Is he?
He's
I've been
just the
drafting him a
hot name
bunch
on the
in the
block.
last. Is he? Okay.
I'm
I've
happy
been
with
taking him a
Bateman, though.
bunch later on.
I'm happy with Bateman. I think he's less likely to be a 0 than Surratt.
Tank Dell and Knoll are both still there as well. Any interest in those guys?
I was taking Tank Dell earlier, but I'm not too interested on him now. I do like Jalen Knoll. Jalen Knoll's a little Houston bring back for our Green Bay stuff too.
Yeah. I guess what it comes down to between Bateman and Knoll, it's like what role do we realistically see Knoll getting into, and how good can the Texans be to support multiple receivers? If Lamar is healthy, any piece of the Ravens could be just like a ticket, right?
Yeah, I think as our 8th receiver, getting Rashad Bateman is a nice spike week. We invested a lot into Cincinnati, so we're kind of buying into that game. And we got Justice Hill too. I didn't realize another Baltimore piece. So
Yeah, we
that's
did
kinda
it through
fun.
like the cheaper pieces.
Yeah, I like that. And those are guys who can just like get us points too. And if you're avoiding zeros around 17, 18, that's pretty valuable.
I'm gonna replug in my light real quick. I told you I broke that light like an hour ago. And then my crappy Amazon light keeps shutting off, like flickering. Let me
I've
switch
seen
this
that
light real
flicker and you
quick.
try and manage that. It's impressive what Mr. Candyman is doing. He's got problems going on. And dude, I'm looking at this chat right now and I see a raid. Yo, we are being invaded. All right. Lumsky, Frog Clone, Mac Nova, BBG. How we doing, BBG? Great to have you back in the drafting streets.
Bro, of course, the chat would not say I'm balancing it well. We're so far behind on the chat. We'll catch up to him. I wanted to get the takes out of Jeary in our first BBM draft together. We had to hear, round by round. We only had 20-second clocks. And I think you guys benefit more from hearing some of his takes, some of his thoughts, our dynamic and our opinions together than if we're just, chilling in the chat. But I appreciate y'all all for being here as well. We'll catch up to that, the raid, and more. Make sure you smash the like button. Oh, I was also in like a first round in this draft. I was posting a YouTube poll. I just looked over and I hadn't finished it. It's just sitting there. I'm going to put Jeary on the spot. Give me 2 running backs that go in or around the same round that you want the chat to debate. So who's the better value is the question. Could be any round, could be any 2 running backs, but like who do you want to see the chat debate and maybe you have some opinions on?
Yeah, I have it. The first thing that popped into my mind is kind of this little range right around round 10, round 11, where I'm looking at running backs a lot of time because I like taking receivers early. And I don't know who the better pick is, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt or Chris Rodriguez.
That's a good one.
They could both be ass. They could both be league winners. I don't know. And the interesting thing is they both play each other week 17, and I like drafting both those teams. So I'm always conflicted if I want to further stack that team or if I want to get the week 17 opponent.
Yeah. They both could be good offenses.
Yo, Frog Clone's funny, dude.
What do you say? Let's pull it up. Frog Clone. Frog Clone was in this draft too.
He said, "Is the gun an option?"
Very interesting picks. And Frog Clone's like,
great.
Terrible picks. No. Okay, guys, vote in the YouTube poll, smash the like, check out Jeary's channel for whatever reason. If you're new here to my channel, if you've never come across Jeary either, make sure to sub to his channel, link in the description, link in the chat. We got Putt Daddy in here. What's up, brother? Auction is the best way to do home leagues. I think so too. It takes ours takes about 6 hours. It's nuts. And there's a lot of fist fighting. There's a lot of, we do this thing. We have, I forget what site it is, but there's whammies. And so we use like the site to help us with the bids. So like we're all like calling out bids. Someone's the auctioneer. We're keeping track of everything, the teams, the bids, the money left. I forget the site we use, but you can preset a certain number of whammies. And so as soon as someone wins a player, let's say you won Wandale Robinson, he'd randomly get selected as like a whammy before the whole draft started. And what we do in my home league is if you get a whammy, you have to take a shot. And so it's choose your poison, but like some guys don't drink, they choose something else. Like, they might go smoke a bowl or something. Some guys taking a shot of whiskey like me, or shotgunning a beer if they're crazy, But what the funniest part is this: every once in a while, there'll be like one guy who gets like the only guy getting whammies. Like he just drafts the team that has all the whammies, and he has to take like 7 shots or something. And by like the 5th one, he's like, "Fuck this, guys! I'm doing a half shot. Like you can't make me do another one." It's only been like an hour or two, and he's just like getting wasted. He's starting to make bad picks. Adds a fun element.
Yeah, that's a fun time, man. I haven't done like the in-person drafts with the boys, but yeah, might have to one time.
We just booked our Airbnb. We're doing it. So we're all from Texas. One guy lives in Oregon now. One guy lives in New York. But we all meet up. We are about to go to either South Florida or San Diego, but we all just like voted, like, let's do what's ever like easier. So we just booked our Airbnb. It's going to be in Dripping Springs, which is like West Austin. And you're just going to hang out at this ranch house, got a pool, got a big house, and just, yeah, fun. We usually do it on Labor Day. This year we're doing it a week early, but it's going to be a great time.
Dude, that's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I'm sure when you have like kids and a family too, that's a nice like little weekend getaway with the boys and do like one of your favorite things. You draft some fantasy football. That's going to be your, half your life for the next 4 months.
I love it. And we're going into, this is going to be, this is year probably 17, I think. So like we're deep, and it's the homies, dude. It's the close guys.
17. Wow.
Yeah. We started it when we were sophomores in high school, and I'm old, dude. I'm old as fuck.
Respect.
It's a good time though. John Brandano, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here. The super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel. Always appreciated. Never required. Can you review my team besides you in the 10 spot? Yeah, I did notice you're in the 10 spot as well. We had the icon on our left. We had Frog in here. I saw you were in here. We had Texas Fox in the 2. So we had some sharp drafters in here. We'd love to review that team. Got brutally sniped by Kyler and Nix, and took one for the team for you to get Love, bro. Because we talked through it. We're like, he might take Love. We talked through it. Appreciate that. And yeah, we'll definitely. Or actually, no, it was the drafter on your right. It was Bono's was gonna potentially take Love. Yeah, what we'll do is let's review our team. Let's review John Frandano's team. Anyone else wants a team review? If you're a member, I got you. Just let me know in the chat. If you want a super chat as well or gift a memby, I will definitely team review. Jeary, our first Best Ball Mania draft together, kind of a banger. We did some nice team stacks, some fun NFL teams on this draft. 2-5-8-3, very standard. Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, solid QBs. We felt good about that. James Cook, Chase Brown. That James Cook was your favorite first round pick. I like it. Chase Brown with the Bengals, Kyron of value, and then we just tacked on Sean Tucker, Justice Hill. We didn't need much there. I think it was good the way we didn't over allocate capital at the RB, because we wanted to make up our wide receiver, and we closed the door on tight end so early after we didn't really push it. We ended up taking Kraft, and we got that double stack. So it's like, I think we kind of navigated these waters very skillfully, and it shows. I mean, Jeary's been drafted for 150 straight days. If you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do. Make sure you're subbed. This guy knows how to draft, and you can see it here. T. Higgins, Watson. When your top 2 receivers are stacked with your quarterbacks, it's a good team. That's always feels good. Godwin, Wandale, Shaheed, Coker, Jerry Jeudy, Bateman, a bring back. The Kraft stack, Strange, Henry. This is a very solid team. Like there's no way someone could poke a hole in this team.
Yeah, I think it feels great. And when we start 3 running backs that early, pushing the last 2, I'm totally fine with, especially in BBM. And we got a lot of like week 17 correlation too. Little Rams, Tampa Bay, 2 Bucks, Bengals, and Ravens. Love that game.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, Packers. The Packers Houston game, I don't know how to feel about, because it is in Lambeau. Houston's have a tough defense.
Yeah.
And It's on Monday Night Football, so there's something satisfying to thinking, "Hey, I'm making the playoffs and I'm sweating this one game," and you see, like, 4th quarter, something happen, and it wins you 2 mil. That's the dream, right? But
I love that because last year I was saying the exact same thing about the Rams Falcons game that was Monday Night Football. So I was trying to take a Ram or a Falcon on every team just to give me that one last hope in the last hour, the last quarter of the season.
yeah, so the Packers and Texans, if there's one player from that game that you want, who is it?
Overall, at cost, like probably still, it could always be Nico Collins. He could be a guy that just burns a defense on a 70-yard touchdown and like wins a week. I like the value on Josh Jacobs right now. Um, I'm not too worried about this matchup. So I want to show you this too. I put this together. It's just the playoff, the fantasy playoff matchups. And then what I've got in those green is the implied team total from the current Vegas odds that is from Sharp Analysis, Warren Sharp. So for instance, if we're talking about Green Bay at home playing Houston, Green Bay is implied to score 22.5. And it's because Houston's defense is so good, but that's not like a terrible team total that week. Houston right here is only implied to score 20. So, right, Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite. And then what I did, I averaged all of those implied team totals for the 3 playoff weeks. The highest one is the Bills with 26.3 average. And so then this column here, I ranked them. The Bills are number 1. That means they're 100% of the max score. And then I did percentiles. So these are highlighted if you're the brighter purple you are, the highest percentile you're in. So the Bills, that's the top percentile there. So I'm trying to highlight, I think, games or teams that have really good playoff, settings to score a lot of points. Because I also have another one of these right here that is the ranked defenses. And it's like a month or two old, but it was the defensive ranking, so that it was just how tough are the defenses are you playing. I was going off of that for a long time, and I would definitely say, okay, here's Miami, 32nd ranked defense, Bills, should be a smash matchup. I think it's still a good matchup, but when I go to my other sheet there, 27.5 is still a great spot. Might be one of the Bills are probably that's like the highest score of the week, so no doubt there. But in terms of total score, because Miami's only implied to score 20, so that would put them at 27.5 for the game total. There's this Baltimore versus the Bengals game, which is implied 51.5. So it's just like a higher scoring game, maybe more of a shootout. So just things I'm thinking about. Who knows how much it matters, but as I'm looking at all those matchups, and we always say things like the bringbacks and the week 17 and the correlation, I'm trying to put a little bit more behind it of, why would I pick one stack or team matchup versus another?
Yeah, those charts are definitely interesting. They're good to look at. With
It's
that
fun.
game in particular, like one story that I've been kind of thinking about recently is, man, I'm a Lions fan. I'm still a David Montgomery lover. And he's pretty
Okay.
familiar with the Green Bay Packers. He's played them twice a year for his whole career. Cold
Ooh.
weather. David
Oof.
Montgomery, 25 touches, just goes for like 120 and 2 touchdowns. I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So David Montgomery is your pick from that game. Are you drafting a decent amount of Montgomery in that tier? He goes close to a lot of the year 2 running backs that are pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, out of like all those guys that go end of round 4, round 5, Montgomery is my favorite. And I like to start, especially from picks like 3, 4, 5, starting 0 RB. And then if I get Montgomery as my first, I feel pretty good about that because if he stays healthy, I think he's easily getting 200 points.
He's definitely going to dominate the touches in that backfield. At some points last season, we were even seeing Woody Marks averaging more than 17 touches per game. He was dreadfully inefficient. He had like one decent kind of early season game. We saw the light, and then he really underwhelmed from there. So I think Montgomery in that role plus can only be better. Maybe he gets us 18, close to 20 touches a game would be very nice. And if he's just more efficient, I think he's going to be easily averaging about 15 or 16 fantasy points a week, like conservatively. Like it's like very easy to see him do that. The touchdown is kind of how many touchdowns can he get is maybe the limit on how much he blows that out of the water and becomes a guy that like mega smashes and pays off. But I'm a kind of conservative Texans fan when it comes to fantasy because I try not to let my home team fandom bleed into overdrafting them so much. I also know how bad the offensive line is. The defense is so good. So, but no, I'm drafting Montgomery. He's been a huge riser. Remember the big board, so much cheaper, obviously, but then he changes teams, right? So
Yeah, I had 30% before he got traded in like the
killer.
100s.
That's
Yeah, man.
killer.
I think he's got
Uh,
some left in the tank. He's 29, but he was underutilized the last few years, and he's gonna be playing with a chip on his shoulder, man. Like, don't sleep on Demo. But let's see this team review. I want to see our neighbor, see what he did.
let's see what John did. Appreciate you, John. Thanks again for the super. 3-6-7-2. He goes Herbert, Cam Ward, Gino, all kind of at ADP. So nothing real wrong there. Just decent quarterback room. Hampton stacked with Herbert. I like it. Judkins got a nice value on him. Dowdle at RB3 feels fine. Marks at RB4 feels fine. Tank, we liked Tank. It's a good pick there. Goes Braylon, a guy we also maybe considered. Jerry, what's your impression as you're looking at before we get to the wide receivers? We'll see what he did after that. What's your impression on the kind of the start of this team?
I think it's a team you would want to go 3 quarterbacks on. I like where he
Yeah,
drafted them. Cam Ward's a pretty fun value. Justin Herbert feels great. I think it's a decent stack with Hampton as well. And the
yeah,
running back room, I think that's one you want 6 on as well. So structurally, I think it's great. And player takes, yeah, totally fine.
totally. 100% agree. Look at the wide receiver room. Actually, pretty nice. Jefferson, Waddle, the flavor of the week. He reaches up for Waddle, but we've seen him going higher. I think Garrett Wilson's a great value. Tate's totally fine. Myers, another value. Goes for AD. It's the Geno stack. Surratt at the end, and then Fannin, Gadsden, 2-year, 2 tight ends. How are the wide receivers and tight ends looking?
Dude, this team fucks.
Yeah,
Like
I think so too.
I like the Waddle pull up. It is a flavor of the week type of thing, and I've been trying to take some more of him too because I'm underweight.
Sure.
And then yeah, the third round is feeling pretty gross. So honestly, reaching for 2 guys that normally go in the fourth, I think that's totally fine. I like Garrett Wilson too. The Cardinal Tate Cam Ward stack is really fun. Jacoby, little steady Eddie, Adnai Mitchell, Surratt, fun back stack with Geno too when you need a third quarterback. And then I like stopping at the 2 tight ends there. I don't mind going thin, and you're pretty much betting on like these 2 to both develop even more going into their second season.
100%. He gets the Fannin as his, breakout, continues to be good. Tight end, Gadsden for the stack. This is a solid team. Very nice. Very nice team, John.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Really no complaints. Braylon
No
with the Jets
complaints.
too.
Jeary, what do you say we jump right into a fast puppy? How would that feel?
Dude, let's do it. I'm ready.
Interested? I'm going to join from my phone. Guys, if you want to jump in, go ahead and join now. Some of you guys are on a 5-second delay, maybe a 10-second delay. I'll count to 5 before I join. But if you're hearing me say this now, go ahead and join it. I'm gonna hit it. 3, 2, 1. Enter. Waiting on 11. So you're probably in the underflow.
Spicy.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Snuck you past you again. Chat as always. They always like to tell me. I'm sure they do this with you too. They're like, bro, I'm in the draft before. I'm like, tough shit. Good. You can still chill here with us and not snipe us and hear the picks. I kind of like when I'm watching like your stream or someone else's too, I will usually wait until they enter their draft, and then I'll enter it once the room's filled, and I watch them and listen to them make all of their picks so that they're like a half a pick or a pick ahead of me. And I feel like they're giving me all the plus EV, and then I make my pick and I try to draft like a better team. I feel like that's like a very constructive way to draft on stream or like with this, like in the chat,
That's fun, man. That's some 4D chess too. But
Yeah.
I don't get too many people in the underflow because I mean, usually I just go, I join. I'm like, hey, if you can join, you can join. Sometimes I wait, I'll count down a little bit. I've been doing a lot of eliminators on stream, which usually those don't fill super fast. So we get a lot of people in those drafts with me.
Love it. Yeah, the elims. You've been doing those elims. I hear you talking about them. I have not dipped into the elim streets yet. I want to. I want to do it late in the season because I got enough, I think, to keep me busy for now. with BBMs, the side contest, and I've been sweating out my golf best ball teams. That all ends like this week. So once that's kind of off the plate, I wanted to keep the headspace like hyper focused. I haven't done any super flex, hyper focused on this tournament, this game theory, like this draft, and not get it twisted with trying to pull myself in another direction. Like past years, I totally have. I think this year it's just a little bit different for me. I had a big move last month too. I moved from Houston to Austin. So like I just had a lot going on. I was like, let me save. I want to do elims. Let me kind of save it for the end. But I said the same thing last year. I only got like 30 or 35 elims in. It closed way before everything else. It closed early.
Yeah, it's going to happen again this year. Like once August hits, it's going to start to feel so fast because so many people are just going to hammer slow drafts too. Now, in the last draft, you kind of let me take the wheel. I'm curious to hear some of your picks and how you would approach this draft too.
I think for this one, if he's there, there's only, I think, there's a very obvious pick, and it's Jettis. It's Justin Jefferson. This is him at the UFC game. Looking, I mean, this is kind of the optimal male body, I would say. You might not want to hear it, but this is what peak male looks like. You know the meme, but like, I mean, the glasses, the chains, just fucking swagged out. Like, I forget, Hartman was telling me his earring is like some designer brand. I'm not surprised. Back on the board here. So we go Jefferson. Let's pair him up with someone nice. I was hopeful maybe Cook would come back around because then that'd be pretty sick. Do you like Ken Walker?
Yeah, I love Ken Walker.
Do you like Hampton or HN or Henry better?
I like Walker most.
Let's do Walker. I'll let smart people kind of tell me on Walker. Walker was really bad in fantasy last year, but smart people tell me that like a change of scenery, he's an explosive runner. He could get a ton of touchdowns. So I'm willing to like take a leap of faith.
I feel like there's also just been a trend in recent years where when like good high level running backs go to a new team, they just kind of smash. Like it happened with Saquon, happened with Henry, with Mixon. There's a lot of these guys, man, where they go to a new team and they outperform.
True. Van Cleef was the brand. David knows. Ball knower.
I've never heard of it.
I know, me either. I also think with Ken Walker, we saw what he did in the real NFL playoffs. He was consolidating touches. He was getting 25, 30 touches a game. If he can be that guy for Kansas City, like, yeah, wheels up. So fun start, Jefferson, Ken Walker. I just want to catch up with everyone in the chat. Make sure I say what up. We got breaking best ball here. Best ball Bobby. We got also in this chat, in this fast puppy, I recognize a little guy here named Nez. May have heard of him. Nez in the draft with us. Hope you're doing good, bud. Thanks for Nez. Actually, I think it was last night or 2 nights ago. Nez gifted 5 subs to the stream, so always appreciate that, my guy. And I feel like he's on that late night grind too. The kids go down, then you jump right into a draft. Like,
I mean, I see that diamond badge there, man. That says enough.
Woo! What up, buddy? How we doing? Good to see you. Rug pulled, says John. Yeah, John. Sorry. It's very adversarial around here. I can't let all you sharp drafters in every single one of these drafts. How am I going to win anything with you guys around? What's up, Darth Carter? Goombas. With Jeary, Montgomery feels like the skeleton key. That's a very high praise. Yeah, I like it. Great floor advancement. Gonna have weekly 2 touchdown upside, including playoffs. I think that's kind of facts. That is, I don't want to forget how much I like David Montgomery. I, for some reason, started leaning. So that tier, I like almost coin flip. It's like, do I take one of the year 2 guys like a Henderson, Judkins? Do I take Montgomery first? Do I try to go for Bucky Irving even? But I do want to be a little bit more intentional and start to lean more the Montgomery direction. What do you think we do here at 34? We know this is a weird spot of the board.
Dude, this spot sucks. Like with our neighbor in the last draft where he kind of reached for 2 round 4 picks, that's kind of what's like the most appetizing for me. I personally love Tedero McMillan. We were talking about the Panthers before. I have a ton of him, and I think out of these guys, he just has the highest ceiling.
Let's do it. We'll just see who comes back around. If Etchen Jr.'s there or Javante, I think they're pretty nice in terms of like workhorse guys on
Yeah,
good teams. Dallas is actually a really good team.
I like Javante more than
Okay.
Travis. Or if you want another receiver, we could get weird and pull up Waddle or Terry.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Did Terry go? No, he's there because it makes it easier to get Jaden Daniels, which is pretty fun.
I think
Javante's there.
Javante or Terry, I would go with.
I'm kind of feeling
With our,
Javante.
I'm cool
What
with
do you want to do?
Javante. With our
Okay.
two top receivers, Jefferson and Tet,
Team out. Yeah.
their quarterbacks are pretty easy to get where we are
Yeah.
drafting from. So I feel more comfortable maybe pushing quarterback a bit on this one
Sure.
and leaning into the 3 quarterbacks that you like.
That, and we know how cheap those guys are. So it might just make sense to throw on an expensive quarterback if we get a value of fall on Lamar. If Daniels is there and we just want to pull the trigger, like I don't think the guys with the huge rushing upside necessarily have to be stacked either. So take one of the expensive guys early. We've got stacking QBs later in the bag that are usually pretty cheap. What's up, Bat Wheat? How we doing?
Yeah, you don't have to convince me on Lamar. He's my highest drafted quarterback.
Love Lamar. I can't stop talking about him. I can't stop trying to draft him on teams. He was going right where Josh Allen was 1 year ago. He has a hurt season. The coaching changes, and now we've like let him fall a couple rounds. It might not be that you need elite QB to win these tournaments, but it feels like it's a cheap year to get him.
Dude, he went in the 60s in 101 Dalmatian that I did. Like, what are we doing?
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Did you see this? So Jeff T brings up Underdog is dropping a full PPR contest. So it's in the rankings. If you go to rankings right now, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Whoops. It told me to refresh too. I got it on my phone just in case it's a backup, but it told me to refresh. There's a new version of Underdog. Let's see. Come on, baby. Come on. It's not my internet and it's not my computer. It's literally the Underdog desktop site. Do you ever get this?
Sometimes. Usually not this long though.
This is a bad one. Mine usually go to 0 and I just keep refreshing and then it like doesn't show up eventually. But I got it on my phone. Coming back around. So our first 4 picks, Justin Jefferson, Ken Walker, T-Mac, Javante Williams. We have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Colston Loveland's still there. We're 5 picks away, though. He'll probably go. Devontae Adams, Travion, Lamar, Tootin, and then it's like the DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate.
Yeah, I'm a visual guy, so I completely just forgot everything you just said. Don't
worry. Okay.
Top of ADP, bro.
Let's go to the ranks super fast. We shouldn't have done it. Look, PPR season. There's PPR in here in the ranks.
Dang.
So it's coming out tomorrow. It's Frenchie Friday is full PPR. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I've got insiders DMing me. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I'm just like that. I got connections. Oh shit, this is a slow draft.
That's not our draft.
Bro, we're fucked.
I was like,
can't find it.
Yo,
too many
slows.
There? Too many slows. I'm not even in that many slows. I hate slow drafts.
I've been taking some more Toot recently, but he still scares me. Like,
yeah,
he still scares me, man.
God, we got to though. It's the risk reward. I like Lamar Jackson. I have this thing though. I like to try to push him too. If he's there in the 6th, it's an auto click. In the 5th, it's a discussion. It's a choice.
Yeah,
right?
We can take Toot. I'm okay with it. I'm okay trying to push quarterback. Or he's falling too.
I mean, these guys have a lot of running backs. Do you want to try to push Tootin and go with Lamar?
Yeah, you pick. I'll let you take this one.
I want Lamar. Time to put the money where
upset about Lamar.
Like put money on it. I've been talking about Lamar being a great value. What's the difference between 58 and 63? I bet you would get Tootin because we're that guy.
Hey, if we're that tapped in,
dude, we're so tapped in right now. We're on it. Easy. We get
That's
both.
So
we want.
Satisfying when that happens.
Woo! Bro, half of this is the board and who's the good value. A lot of it is also, it's like at a poker table. There's some psychology. Know your opponent. Know what they've drafted. I was like, should we take Lamar? This guy's got 3 RBs. This guy's got 2. They're not going to take Tootin. These guys don't seem like they're Tootin guys. They went double RB to start. These aren't the Tootin guys that, we're the Tootin. We can push it. So,
dude, respect. And I do that a lot with the quarterbacks. I try and push quarterbacks a lot. And last night on stream in one of my eliminators at I think it was 116 or something like that, I was debating between Stafford or Jordan Mason. I took Jordan Mason, and Stafford fell back to me at 127 in an eliminator.
Nice. I love that.
And it was so satisfying.
Great pick. Oh, yeah. Stafford is a guy I've noticed you can get lucky. Sometimes I try to judge it. If I'm like the Puka or the Devontae drafter, I see where the other guy is who has the other one. And if like the Puka guy has Lamar or Josh Allen or flip side, I'm like, maybe I'll try to push Stafford instead of taking him at 100 or 99, try to make him come back around to this range. But you got him in the 11th round. Like that's sick. I would take naked Stafford that far. Like I think he's just good enough that at that point, if he was 20 picks past ADP, I'm an ADP bro. I'll just snatch him up.
Yeah, well, in the eliminator, I don't really care much about stacks, so I was
true.
I didn't have any Rams. I was ecstatic to get him, but I did end up getting what's his name now? The Twink, Terrence Ferguson. I love some Terrence Ferguson too. I am a T-Ferg bro, and hey, Mr. Nez agrees with me. Jordan Mason, no matter what, we got the stamp of approval right there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, what's up, Toxic Tower? We got towered. Am I just catching up to this? Was that long ago? I know someone mentioned something about that earlier.
Dude, keeping up with the chat when you have a guest is hard.
I know. Yo, what's up, Chris B? Appreciate you, the kind words. Who Hames, sup, fam? Hope you're having a great Thursday night, getting some rest, Who Hames. Appreciate you being here. Guys, also, there's so many great content creators that stop by in the chat that I'm so happy you're here and saying what up and drafting with us. But make sure you're subscribed to all of these guys. I say it all the time, but Who Hames putting out great content. The dude is grinding. Make sure you're subscribed to Who Hames channel. We got Crumb in here. What's up? I like Jeary's takes, but this receiver room is fragile. Hoping they can land the plane. That was the last draft. Oh man, that might
have been our first draft. I think
we landed that
plane at receiver, man.
I think we landed it. I see Charles was in here. We got Thad. Shaheed. That was a long pick ago. Kriyoff.
Oh, that was our first draft.
I know. Well, I'm scrolling up. We got Marcus Fantasy Lab. What's up, brother? I'm scrolling up just to make sure I say what up. WFer. Gotta share the love. Yeah, what did they say? BBG raid. It was the raid. Hell yeah. BBG with the quick stream tonight. Appreciate you, my friend. Or maybe he's still streaming. I don't know. But I know he was jumping on after the tower. Let's make this pick here.
Probably looking at receiver again.
Yeah, it's got to be receiver. Who do we really like? I know you made some claims earlier about Godwin. I'm not opposed. Is Reed worth it?
Same scenario. I'll let you take the guy with this one.
I don't know, man.
I like
Godwin or Reed.
Godwin and Reed. Usually, my third, I would lean Godwin, but they're both fine. There's like a tough bias when you do 2 drafts in a row. You don't want to take the same guy in the same spot, to fill the same position. Sometimes it's like boring and repetitive, but Godwin can come back to us too pretty easily.
That's kind of what I was banking on because I do want to potentially double tap receivers here.
Yeah,
unless we get the 4th RB. If it's feeling like Corman Harvey, you're kind of interesting in that way. I don't mind Dobbins or Manon guy, but
I think I would lean Godwin here.
Yeah, the wide receivers are going to be thin otherwise. Our next picks, 106, 111. Maybe we can get the last RB there and feel good about it. Let's just do Godwin here.
Yeah, we can be open to taking a Kyler with our next pick with JJ. The guy on the inside of us took Addison, so we would have to take Kyler next.
Oh man.
Unless there's some good players.
It's been a long week. It's been a long week. You're too excited to say that.
Dude, I didn't even realize till I said it.
You're the one who said it. You didn't wait a half second. If I would have said it, that would have been something. You were the one who said it.
I caught up quick, man. You catch yourself like mid-sentence,
You got something on your head you want to tell us? Yo,
Nope.
what's up, Craig?
Just drafting shippers.
Just draft the shippers. No big deal.
Yeah, man. RJ Harvey's a good pick, huh? Oh man.
First time here. BBC sent us over. What's up? This was way up before. Jeary does service the chat rats. Yeah, what's up, Mac? How come my Siri? I said Jeary and my Siri popped up on my phone. It's funny. Frog.
This happened to me
Okay.
too, man.
Who else? Who else showed up? Who else wants to say hello? We got FF Nerd. How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Chris says, I like the Chase Brown as a workhorse. Tampa Bay Gainwell functions as that secondary back. Great for leagues rewarding the pass catching. Yeah. Okay, so back to the Frenchy Friday thing. Knowing that it is PPR Frenchy Friday, is that interesting to you? Does that like scratch an itch for you? How do you feel about the PPR on Underdog? We've never seen
I'll
it.
see what the actual structure of the tournament is. It's interesting to see on Underdog because I've done a few DraftKings drafts. I've done maybe like 20, 25 millis. Just because, man, 3 mil up top, I kind of want a little piece of that. So I'm a little familiar with drafting the PPR. I think it would be different on Underdog because these ADPs are still centered around half-point PPR. So I think there could be an edge there.
The first day is going to be the biggest edge because everyone's going to stick to what they've already been drafting and do stuff like this. And I think it's probably the most meaningful at like the ends. It's the most meaningful at the very beginning of the draft. And it's also way more meaningful at the very end of the draft. The middle's probably pretty similar though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see the structure of the contest. I haven't done many of the Frenchies. I think the only Frenchies I've done are the single entry ones.
Okay. I haven't done a ton of Frenchies. Jackson Dart's still there. I would be Dart over Kyler just straight up. I just think he's just better. I know we've got the whole thing. And if we take Dart, we're probably done it too. So do we want to try to push both of them? We could do Dobbins here. I think. Are you interested in Dobbins or Fannin at all?
Not too much.
Okay. So
Kyle Pitts go? I'm Pitts over Fannin. But I'm cool with Dart right here and just being done at 2 quarterbacks. Both
Pitts
high
is
rush
gone.
upside.
And maybe if like we know that Baker can fall a ton, we know that Bryce Young can fall a ton. We can like leave the door open to get a great QB value later. I'm happy to stop with 2. The whole thing with Kyler, I think it's fun to stack him with Jefferson. I don't think it's required. I know we just saw a bad QB completely tank Jefferson, but he can still just be a guy that can go off, and we don't need Kyler to, I think Jackson Dart probably outscores Kyler like way more than half the time.
Yeah, I think we have to take Fannin here.
Okay, I'm cool with Fannin here for sure. Mark Andrews comes around the next round, but we'll take some pressure off to try to land that.
Yeah, well, the thing I was thinking is like ideally if we could get a receiver with this pick, and then maybe we could even get Andrews and Likely with our next 2 picks. I know we both don't like Likely that much, but it would make sense on this team when we need tight ends and they both stack with our quarterbacks. But we get Fannin, pass ADP. I'm pretty happy with that pick there.
Yeah, I'm open just to seeing if Likely is there and all of these other tight ends go, because I would kind of put it like this, where probably I'll take Andrews in the situation to get the stack, but I probably would. I can't take like Likely over like Goddard or Ferguson or Kincaid. Even with the stack, I just think it's just the better pick. But I like your thought process on planning out our next picks. Definitely.
No, I'm not big on Likely either. I find myself just always taking Shaheed there for the most part, or one of those receivers. I like that that low range right there.
Chris, BCB Jets fan, throwing out the Holland. You know it.
Dude, if I tie my hair up too, like even more so.
It's crazy. I wasn't familiar with his game. Like I don't watch a lot of footy, footy football, like soccer. So I wasn't really familiar with his game. He wasn't on my radar. I don't watch Premier League he usually plays in the Premier League.
Yeah, he plays for Man City. I
Yeah.
didn't know any of this until people started telling me I look like this guy. It first
Okay.
happened at my butcher. The people there,
Okay.
they would always stare at me and smile when I walked in. They're big on soccer. Italian butcher, they always got soccer games playing.
Oh, gotta be. That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then after they started, this has been for like 3 years now. Um, like so many people
Oh, so
since then
you've been
in
in
all
on it.
different
I mean,
situations.
he's a young dude. Like I mean, you're in on it. You're at the ground level.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know anything about this guy, but for like 3 years now, people have been telling me I look like him. So, I
That's
mean, I'll
cool.
take it.
So what's the order when you go to your butcher? Are you getting some gabagool? Like what's the order?
So I get my organic ground beef. That's kind of like I
Nice.
eat a lot of meat. That's kind of like my staple. It's really the only
Nice.
meat I feel like I can cook in bulk. I usually get a couple New York steaks. I get
Sweet.
some pre-marinated tandoori chicken thighs. They're incredible.
Gotta be pre-marinated. Love that. Yeah.
I get some chorizo sausages. Absolutely
Oh, nice.
incredible.
Yeah, chorizo. I'm in.
And then once in a while, I like a little bone-in ribeye. I get a nice
Okay.
thick king ranch steak, or if I'm feeling real frisky, want to share with a lady friend, then I'll get a tomahawk. They're
Nice.
incredible.
Nice. Yeah. Show off a little bit. So do you like it burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Dude, medium rare or bust.
There you go. There you
Closer
go.
on the rare side, yeah. But hey, you gotta have that. You gotta have that sear on the outside.
Yeah, seared for sure. Ball knower, meat knower, Jeary football. Mandrews is there. Any other
The
picks we
guys
even
next
need
to
to
us
think about?
both don't have tight ends. I think we should
Yeah,
take Andrews here.
let's do it.
Then we can stop at 2 tight ends too. It's kind of fun.
I am in agreement, and I don't like likely enough to take him after we just took Fannin and Andrews, and we got a decent value on Fannin. So yeah, likely goes. I'm kind of glad. Circle back to wide receiver. Is there any running back at 135 that makes a difference?
Oh shit. Meet no or pause. I with this pick, I would take Shaheed or Diggs. I think we get our
Yeah.
fifth receiver.
We
Unless
did
you
take
really like
Shaheed last
Tracy.
time. Oh, Shaheed went.
Tracy
I was gonna
would Tracy would stack with Dart.
doesn't do it
That's the
for me
one
anymore.
thing.
Not with
Diggs could
Scadoo
go to
healthy,
Baltimore though.
which would be sick. And also, if we take Diggs, it just gives me one more excuse, and we get him there. It gives me one more excuse to roll this clip.
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
Diggs is the guy.
Diggs. 100%. I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
I'm a great guy.
That video is so funny, dude. That interview is hilarious.
Oh, it's all time locker room interview. Just so good.
This chat's cracking me up too. They got me, man. I didn't even realize the last one. I didn't pause it, and yeah, they're flaming me tonight.
Inside out. What? That was a minute ago. Yeah, late
I'm also
RBs.
just realizing how dark it got here. I'm on the West Coast, so
Yeah.
it's 8:53, and now it's like pitch black. I feel like I might have to turn a light on or something.
It's getting dark. The cats are asleep. Looks like they haven't moved
Yeah,
in a
man,
while.
the kitties are chilling. They'll be running around like little rascals when I try and sleep later.
Case Face says, "Don't call him that. Don't do that to Jeary on live." My bad. Tart 69. What's up? How we doing? Oh, is that Tart from is that the Tart from Bash a few weeks ago? Who was drafted on stream with Pete? I think that is Tart. What's up, Tart? How we doing, brother? Diggs is a great guy, 100%. Better guy than IU. Probably still true, although there are some allegations out there with Diggs. There's some things going around. I got Worthy and Shakir as my 5th and 6th receiver just now. Yeah, BKGJ. That's good. You get like the floor with Shakir, you get the ceiling with Worthy if he ever comes back and is healthy and doesn't get blown up early in the season. His shoulder whacked. Cover from My Chemical Romance. Maybe. Is there any more lore to that, or is it a looks thing again? I don't really see it.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I get
Okay.
so many different things since I grew out the hair. And I just want to say, shout out BKG, the very first person that was ever in my chat.
No way.
Real one.
Ball knower. Diggs got it done.
Yeah, I haven't taken a lot of digs. I'm trying to scoop up a little more of him now, anticipating he's going to rise in ADP. Because if he hits like the 100s, I'm pretty out.
Let me show you something on Diggs. Oh, this is the wrong one. I want to go to this one. This is full season last year, weeks 1 through 17. And for wide receivers, it's sorted on touches per game. Diggs was 16th, earning 5.1 receptions mostly, but like touches per game. So he was like a top 20 in commanding those receptions. So I still think he's got the juice. Like I'm not out that he's just an old dude and not going to play. So I Diggs, I probably am like 20, 25% Diggs. I have to check, but I've been drafting him probably too much. I'll give you a big review here.
Do you want to go Spears?
Yes, I do. I like Spears. Boston's kind of fun. Maybe he comes back around though. I can make an argument for both of them. No,
Yeah,
let's get
just
Spears.
trying to think like getting our 4th right here. Because with our last draft, we got 3 a little earlier, so I felt a bit more comfortable pushing. But getting Spears as our 4th, I think feels pretty balanced.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good call. And we'll just see. Some people don't like Boston. These guys already have a decent amount of receivers. Are you interested in Denzel Boston? Is that a rookie that's like on your radar, or are you kind of fading him or the Browns?
I feel like I want to be in on Denzel Boston. I want to take him more. I usually just find myself liking Debo and Flournoy more, but I think on this team, Boston makes a lot of sense.
Debo's a name I can get behind.
Yeah, I like Debo a lot. I beat Debo or Boston.
Okay, I'm just gonna let it hit on Boston this time. Let's get a rookie receiver, and kind of we already had Fannin, so I was starting to think about that youth movement on the Browns. Maybe they move Judy. I like Debo too. If I go back to that same list, Debo's on here. He's a bit further down. Diggs was 16. Debo is. I overlook it every time. No, I already missed it. Debo's right in here somewhere. Oh, he's there. She's 12. Debo was 12 last year. He's above Diggs. 5.7 combination of receptions and rushing attempts per game. So like he also is not done. He's still a guy that I think, but for somewhere like I thought he might just go back to Washington, but I'm not getting those vibes.
Yeah, I was thinking if Washington doesn't get Diggs, then they're probably going to go with Debo. And man, Debo wasn't bad last year. He had like 5 games of 20 plus points, I'm pretty sure, 4 or 5. And I feel like our expectations were just extra high because it's Debo Samuel. This is a guy we used to take in the 2nd round. Like,
Yeah,
nice, dude. He's going in the 160s right now. Like, I'm taking a lot of him. I was going to say, but we don't need another pause.
Quick check on that. I'm kind of surprised because it felt like he did too. So this is last year's weeks 1 through 17, and it's the percent of their games played. They scored more than 20, 17, 13, 10. Debo's best game was 19-6, but he had what looks like 27% would be 4. He had 4 games with more than 17 points. So like, yeah, he definitely had.
Maybe it was full point PPR. Around 20.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. In full PPR, a lot of those would have been 20-point games. And
but hey, 17
it's close
points,
enough.
half point.
And what's the difference? It's all arbitrary. Like I've been using that for the last 2 years as like my cutoffs: 20, 17, and 13 and 10. 10 is like a weak flex. 13 is a good flex if you're greater than it. Greater than 17 is like a good play on the week, usually a top 10 play at running back or receiver. And then greater than 20 is just the easy way to see a big spike. I've thought about adding greater than 30 in there, or like greater than 24 or 25, just to add one more level. But at the end of the day, I have a column there for their biggest high score on the year that is kind of already doing that. But that was something. So I do that the day the season ends, and I use it to draft the big board on like who was just good, who was like getting a lot of action, and maybe scoring a lot. But this time in the year, we're already like so in on these drafts. I don't really need to reference stuff anymore. But that's something I kind of keep in my
Samson.
pocket.
Oh, I don't know if I want 3 Browns. That's kind of
3
gross.
Browns is weird, but they are cheap. So I mean, I think
Yeah,
as an
like
RB5,
it can work. He's just the best player by far.
I would agree.
Yeah, structurally, we need a running back. I love AJ Barner too. One of my highest drafted tight ends. Receivers, Wicks. Yeah, I was just gonna say I've been kind of trying to take a little bit more of him. He's been getting a lot of good buzz.
Any love for a guy like Mooney that was going much higher in drafts last year? He's had a good season or two, stacks up with Dart, or not so
Yeah,
interested.
I don't know how to feel about the late Giants receivers. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think we might just be better going naked Dart and just betting on his rushing upside.
Okay. So, but Wicks, we both kind of agreed on that one. Barner does go, and we previously said we weren't crazy about forcing the third tight end. Terrence Ferguson's been a big riser. Any interest there before you commit to Wicks?
Yeah, I love Terrence Ferguson. If you want a third tight end, I think we can afford it if you want to take him. But I think Wicks is pretty fun here too.
I don't know. Either way, I think let's just go with Wicks there. And now we have luxury picks. We have 2 picks left. We're 2-5-7-2. We got Lamar Jackson and Jackson Dart, Ken Walker, Javonte, Tutin, Tajay Spears, Dylan Sampson, and then our wide receivers go Justin Jefferson, T Mac, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Diggs. Hopefully he's a Raven. Denzel Boston, Wicks, Fannin, Mark Andrews. So our only real stack right now is Mark Andrews, but the whole part of this team was just kind of getting value, getting good players, and the rushing upside QBs. So I'm not like stressed about the stacks. Obviously, there could be like a Surratt or a Bateman later that we could do to get that luxury pick, 8th wide receiver. If we're probably not going to go 3 QBs, so we really kind of have 2 luxury picks here. I feel like this team could just be done as it is. And like, what do we want? Security around tight end? Do we want to take a shot at a random third QB if it's like a Penix that could just end up playing second half of the year? Maybe Tua, he just got drafted, I think, but Brissett could be a similar kind of thing. Maybe he plays longer than you expect.
In the puppy, when there's like, I think this one there might be like 375 or 400 in the final, but I'm pretty out on taking just a random third quarterback. I would much rather take an extra receiver, especially one that stacks up or is a week 17 bring back. Like I'd rather take any Giants receiver than a third quarterback on this team.
Copy that. It makes sense to me too. And then
or
just
even Theo Johnson. Are you out on Theo Johnson?
No, he's my preferred way to play. Why can't I spell? My preferred way to play the tight end on the Giants all during the big board. It was Theo.
Dude, I think that's kind of fun on this team.
It could be a good one. Let's not do Penix then. Well, I'm gonna pull up just all of the correlated picks, and we'll just take our favorites.
Who do we have as our running backs? Can we stop at 5 or do we want 6?
Ken Walker, Javonte, Tootin Spears, Sampson. There's no overlapping bye weeks. It feels pretty good at 5 for sure.
Yeah, so I think we go 1 receiver and 1 tight end. I'm pretty happy with that.
Who else? Cowboys. Any last Cowboys we'd want? Like a Turpin thing. So I'm going to sort it by ADP, and this is just, you can kind of see them here. All of our available options. We have 2 picks left. You're thinking 1 more receiver, 1 more tight end. So let's go ahead and get rid of Justice Hill and P. Ryan, and then these are our options.
Yeah, like I think I would take Theo Johnson and then one of the Ravens receivers.
Yeah, let's line that up.
We could probably get Theo Johnson on the way back. I mean, Freiermuth is still available. Okay, he just went. Surratt or Bateman, and then Theo, because one guy has 3 tight ends and the other guy has 3. Yeah, let's go one of the receivers. Your choice.
What do you think, honestly? Do you want the rookie upside or do you want the bounce back for a guy who was like a former first-round pick?
We have 1 rookie. Let's go Bateman because we're playing the scenario that Diggs might go back to Baltimore, which I think would kill Surratt.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Bateman still has some value rotating in even. There's always a team that could just float so many fantasy pieces. You want a piece of it to get a touchdown any given week. I think the Ravens have been that a lot of time when Lamar's healthy. But the rookies are just there's a whole other layer on the rookies. Are they even an NFL pro player that can like hold the job down? We know Bateman is that. Even if he was kind of busty last year, he's shown that he can be a piece of their offense. Theo?
Yeah, I love Theo. I think it's a perfect way to end this team because we have like 2 strong tight ends, so we're fine at 2 if we only had 2. And then Theo, he's going undrafted like 95+% of the time and likely hasn't been the best bill of health. I think they could use a lot of 2 tight end sets with the receivers that they have, especially if Neighbors is missing time. So I like it, man.
That's a good point. I remember during the season last year, when it was some primetime Palooza, some of the weekly tournaments, I was drafting Theo Johnson in those. I think there's a 6-person, 6 rounds, so there's 36 players that get drafted. Or no, those are 4 people, and there's only 24 players that get drafted. That's right. And it's the primetime slate, so it's usually either four teams to pick from, 4 QBs, 4 tight ends get drafted, sometimes 5. And Theo Johnson in some of those was going pretty high. Like he was on a roll there where he's just, when Dart came in and Russell Wilson was gone, Theo Johnson got on like a touchdown roll. The connection with Dart felt good. Penn State product, high caliber kind of, tight end producing school. I will say that I would not be surprised if Theo Johnson is better for fantasy than Isaiah Likely straight up, like not even at cost, just like straight up. And we're only asking for him to be the guy we need in certain weeks and get the spikes because it's better in best ball. We don't have to predict when to start Theo Johnson. So I'm totally open with a bet like that.
Yeah, it would not shock me at all. I mean, last year he was coming off a torn ACL and he put up like 5 touchdowns still.
Hell yeah. Nez says Theo Hive. Got to keep it on the down low.
Hey, me and Nez are kind of aligning with some of our takes, so I'm feeling pretty good about him. All right. And I mean, hey, go to sleep. All right. Dream about Theo.
It's so funny. Yeah, we can't talk too loud about Theo. I got to get back in on that. I drafted him a bunch in the big board, and I think I just slowed down. I'm letting ADP dictate the way I draft, and I don't like that in the late rounds. I dictate how I draft in the late rounds. I like to scroll down.
Let me look at my exposure. I'm curious. Theo, I have 4.1%.
That's good for an undrafted player. That's very good.
3.8 in Best Ball Mania.
You might end up around 4 to 5% of him if you keep steady and draft a lot of Dart. I will say in the last 2 weeks, Dart is by far my most drafted player.
Dude, when he falls to the 100s, I have some teams with him in the 110s.
I auto click him past 100, and I don't I took him over Kyler this time. I just know he's going to score more points. The dude doesn't believe in concussions. He's going to run for those first downs. He's going to get some touchdowns. Maybe he can continue to progress as a passer like we saw, I don't know, Josh Allen do throughout his early career. He was a terrible passer as a rookie and early on. He got way better. I'm not saying he's going to be Josh Allen, but maybe a similar path for fantasy with the rushing upside. And if Neighbors comes back and we're not at some point in the season, Neighbors is back to health and is him, the dude is such a good receiver. So that'll help Dart out too.
Yeah, man. I agree. Giants could either be sneaky good upside or absolute ass.
They are the Giants, so maybe it's just the latter. Do the RBs get money, touches? Is draft price worth the risk? Definitely. Yeah, we did that kind of in both of these drafts so far, Chris. We got enough early running backs to feel good, and then we didn't. We kind of filled out our team needs, and a lot of times that was the higher QBs and tight ends, and then we just circle back when it makes sense at running back. We weren't falling for a lot of these dead zone guys. When you said we could do Tracy there, I was overdrafting Tracy during the big board before the Cam Scattaboo backflip at the softball game. Since then, I haven't clicked Tracy one time. I feel like it's all the way Scattaboo when he's healthy. Tracy was really good the first 2 years. I just don't know how much he is in the plans going forward. And I've seen some projections for the Giants, and Tracy seems completely left out.
Yeah, I've still mixed him in a bit. And with you, I was fading Scatabo. I still have not taken him a lot. It just does not feel good. They could both be bad picks too.
True. We go. Did we already review this team? No, I don't think we did. Lamar Dart, Ken Walker, Javante Tootin, Spears, Samson, really strong at QB. I would say just fine, great at running back. Wide receivers got it done. I do like pulling up T-Mac there. He's going to continue to get better. I can just see it. He also earns a lot of targets. Reed and Godwin are middle guys. Diggs should be a riser. Rookie upside with Boston. Wicks and Bateman from some spike weeks on some good teams. Fannin, Andrews, Theo Johnson, another really solid team. I like the way we're doing the 2-5-8-3s. I think both of the last two drafts were 2-5-8-3s, right?
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. The only critique I think I would have is having 3 Browns doesn't necessarily feel the best, but they're so
Sure.
cheap. Like at
Yeah.
cost, they're all great picks.
It doesn't feel as good in the Best Ball Mania we drafted. Where like this one doesn't feel as good as that, where our team bets were Bengals, Ravens, Packers. It's like, yeah. This time we have some Ravens. We got a pretty big bet on the Vikings and the Panthers. It's a little bit more sketch. And then, like you said, the 3 Browns, at least they're cheap. They're all past pick 100. So it can't really burn us too much. We might get to benefit from the upside. The Browns aren't the worst team that people kind of believed that they were going to be. Also, maybe they're the worst team, but they got rid of Myles Garrett. Their defense becomes like similar to the 2025 Cardinals. And then they're just trying to play from behind every third and fourth quarter, and they're throwing the ball a ton. And it's a feast for fantasy.
Yeah, man. Like I think it's worked out pretty well for us and our team. We don't feel weak anywhere. Like our whole team looks strong at all positions.
I like it. Not worried. Likely sign 3-year, $40 million seems rough for Theo prospects. 3-year, $40 million for tight ends is not that much money. And also, I don't really worry too much about the contract stuff because that's more real football related. I'm thinking more fantasy brain, but I know it's another data point, Kriot. But nah, I'm not too worried. They bring in a guy. Why did the Ravens let him go? Why would the Ravens let him go if he's so good? They hold on to Mark Andrews, and likely is never done too much. I wonder if he's in a new location, does he actually get the expanded role, or does he go back to being the exact same guy he was on the Ravens, but now for the Giants, just a worse team? In that case, he should be a last round pick, tight end, if it's that. So I'm kind of I'm leaning more the thing I was describing. Tracy, a league winner. Scadaboo going to pull Conor McGregor, come back, and then be out. That would be scary. We'd all be. I don't have a ton of Scadaboo this year. I had a lot last year. Don't have a ton this year, but I'm open to clicking him again. Jeary, what do you want to draft? As you want to do another draft? Are you down to stick around for the draft?
Dude, I'm down.
Hell yeah. We could do a fast puppy. You're kind of teasing the Elim. I want to check the status on this pug. I've only done one. I know it's a 3 max. What have you been drafting lately? I know you said some Elims. What have you been drafting?
Yeah, most of what I've been drafting is like best ball manias, eliminators, puppies. I've been staying away from a little more of like the low dollar buy-in side contests, kind of like the pug, pointer, those kind of things. Unless honestly, the structure of the pug is pretty nice. Like 124 seat final for what, like 40K up top, I think.
Yeah.
But I've kind of just been sticking to some of those 150 max contests because I do want to max them all.
Nice. Okay. Well, then what we should do is we should draft a pug together on my channel to give you some exposure to a different format, because this one is kind of nice on the advanced, the 212, but then 1515, 124 to me is very attractive. I was doing at first, I had to be convinced. I was asking the chat on Tuesday night, and I was asking Hartman. I think Hartman and I did the first pug together. I was like, why would I want to do this? $12. It's like 2.5 puppies. But look at kind of 10th place in this is like 2,000, right? Obviously, first place 40 goes down from there. But like even 10th place is 2,000, and all the way to 20th is 1,000, right? And that would be top 8. What is it? 124. So like top 8 or 9% you get like a $2,000 team. If you're in the top 20% ish, 18% ish, you're going to get like $1,000 out of $12. If you get to the final, I'm saying like the final's not so big. You can still have not even that great of a team and get $1,000 in this final. So just keep that in mind. 10,000, 1,000 for 20th, 2,000 for 10th. The puppy is so much bigger and harder to advance. Obviously, and this is the fast puppy. 225,000 people. You get the 200K up top, but when you get to 10th, it's 5K. When you get to 20th, it's like 2.5. Definitely bigger. You get further down. You'd have to get like 75th in the puppy, or I guess 50th would kind of pay out like 20th in the pug. But if you get 21st or 25th in the puppy, that pays out like 10th in the pug. But the pug, this is 110, 110, and then 375. So compared to the 1515 and then 124, it's just like this one is way harder to get there and to win once you're there. So I feel like the pug is a good contest to do, like for us to split, because we might just have a team that's good enough that might have got like 100th in the puppy if it made it all the way through, but it might be good enough to get like 10th in the pug. And so the payout kind of starts to justify it a little bit. We talked through it Tuesday night. I probably didn't do a good job of selling it there, but what do you say?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Hell yeah.
That puppy
Boom.
is real top heavy, man. My goodness.
Yeah, it thins out because you would think how hard it is to get there. You would think you might get more for 20th or place, but no. And I kind of like them top heavy too. All right, I'm joining the pug from my phone. Most of y'all, it starts soon, so I didn't really rug you because I had the location error, but I still got into the same draft. And the pugs are slower to fill, so you guys probably got in if you had one. A lot of you guys are sick degens though, and you've already maxed the pug. It's been out for like 4 days, and you've maxed a 3 max. Oh, who do we got here? Just the who's who. We got,
Hey, neighbor.
we got T-Fall again. We got Nez right next to us in the 10 spot. Oh, I got to know. There's one more name in here. We'll see who it is. Someone's going to come out of the woodwork and tell us.
All right.
Chewy? Could it be Chewy?
I'm going to go turn this. I got like a little LED light on in the back.
Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
just staring at like my screen and seeing the complete black is bothering the shit out of me.
Jeary, I know you're drafting on dark mode, but I always see screenshots of some people and they go light mode, and I'm just like, oh my god, burns. Did you ever do any streams on light mode?
Oh gosh, what the fuck is that?
I know, right?
Sorry.
It looks crazy. It looks crazy.
I do use light mode on mobile though.
That's how I knew it, because I've seen you post those, and I'm like, bro, light mode, come on.
Hey, I'll stand by it. Light mode on mobile, dark mode on desktop. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna close the poll on the YouTube, and it's exactly 50-50
Wow.
on a decent amount of votes, 30 votes. JCM and Chris 50-50, perfectly down the middle. I'm gonna start a new YouTube. Oh, we're in the 9 spot again. We've done nothing but 9 and 10 tonight, but I guess we've kind of got our reps in at least. Can we get different?
Yeah, that's okay. Gene T goes so we can get different.
I'm fingers crossed right now. My feet are crossed. Everything's crossed. I like both these picks, but JT, right?
Oh yeah, let's go JT.
Ah,
I was
smash.
saying I do like James Cook more than Jonathan Taylor, but what I like more is unique teams.
Yeah, JT can smash. He's good. He's good last year, right? Big games. A lot of big point games.
I was so in on Jonathan Taylor last year.
Oh, nice. You were. It's a second round pick. He's incredible. I wish I would have seen the light a little bit more. I wasn't like so overweight. I can't remember exactly. I was probably like 9 or 10% Taylor. I wish I would have been like 25%.
Dude, the first like in May, I had such a conviction on Jonathan Taylor in the second round. I think like after the first month post draft, I had like 40%. And then it died down closer to 20 because I like to diversify a little bit, but I was guns blazing on JT last year.
Likely and Chig seem like slam dunks now, says WF for Omega. I might have to take some Likely at some point, given how much dart I'm taking. But I just haven't been able to
Walker?
convince myself. Yeah, we could easily do Walker. JT Walker. Boom.
Yeah, it seems pretty unique too.
Feels fun to go 2 running backs on this side of the board and just any combination of those two. That's like when you said pull up Cook, I was not afraid at all. I knew we could pair it with a nice pick. We ended up with Cook. We just took Ken Walker in the last draft. We did Cook with Chase Brown, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun. That's a good one to do.
Can I read you a team where
For sure.
there's one team where I pulled up, I thought it was a BBM, maybe it was a puppy. I pulled up James Cook to pick 5, and it turned out really well. I'm trying to, maybe it was a puppy. Let me see. Yeah, James Cook at 5, and then round 2 I got AJ Brown, and round 3 I got Jeremiah Love. So it turned out pretty well.
Jeremiah Love in
Nice,
round 3. Yeah.
Yeah, at pick 29, a little Waddle round 4, and then I got David Montgomery to fall to me at 53. So a really nice, unique first 5 picks right there.
Who was the last one?
Montgomery at 53.
Yeah. So you get 3 really good running backs, and then yeah, that's kind of interesting.
James Cook, Love, and Monty, and
Right.
then AJ Brown, Waddle, and I took my boy Parker Washington round 6. We haven't talked about Parker Washington.
You got P-Wash in the 6th round out of the 5 spot, so you got him at 68. That's usually goes higher than that now. That is a really fun team. I like that. I'm gonna wait till later in late August or early September to do things like that. Although I don't think you need to wait. Draft different teams at all parts of the season, but I do want to do some things like you're describing, because I think a lot of these running backs are undervalued right now, and they're just all kind of bookended at the 1-2 turn. But a lot of them, like what you did, make so much sense to me, and get them with different pairings. All right, JT Ken Walker.
Brees is kind of fun if you want to go high T again.
Let's do it. I'm not like a Brees believer. Let's take him on this team where we don't even need him, because then if he hits, this team is killing it. I've gotten burned by Brees so many times. My gripe with him is the lack of touchdowns. He gets the touches, he gets the yardage. He just never scores the damn touchdowns. It kind of pisses me off. And maybe it's more of a Jets thing.
Yeah, that's very fair. But as far as getting unique, I like getting unique all throughout the offseason. It's not like I'm doing it every other draft. But the thing is, like, it's the picks that go later as well. If you identify the guys that are going to rise in ADP and get some nice CLV, then I think it's valuable to get unique at different points.
That is a very good, like, part of your large portfolio game theory type of position that I think you can appreciate when you're as deep into drafts as you are. So I like that. I like that you're thinking that way, and like, making stands on your guys. Because if you've got a guy like Cook that you think can be the guy, you want different combinations with him. Like, stand on that one, right?
Tet,
what do we do? Tet, because he's healthy. Yes. Yeah.
I don't mind Terry if you want to get weird.
I thought about it.
I do like Tet more, but as a wide receiver 1, I'm open to Terry.
I'm open to it too. I still wanted to go T-Mac there, even though we just drafted him. I think he can be a guy. Let me go. I mean, what was it? Let me remind myself how good he was at earning. I think he kind of was underwhelming on the reception side. He needs to get a little bit more efficient. And I don't have targets in here, but he was good when he got it. So over the season, and it's the rookie half, so 4.1 whole season. If we just do weeks 9 through 17, let's see if it gets better. I hope it gets better. So that was 4.1. He ends up with actually 3.6. So it got worse second half. Maybe there's something there. But the 2.97 fantasy points per touch on the amount of volume he got is really good. I was almost going to say, it's like Jawan Jennings. That was a bad comp. That was all touchdown driven. It's like T. Higgins almost.
Well, I think Ted's getting a little unfairly judged because people aren't really acknowledging that he was a rookie last year. Like on one of the worst offenses, but he got drafted 8th overall. He put up over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Like,
Smash.
since when is that bad? Don't
And
we
I was
like
I, w-
young ascending players?
I have not updated this clip since last year, but I put together a highlight clip from him in college because I was a big fan of him in his college. So I'm not gonna roll the whole thing, but like, all right, adjust your microphones or I guess your audio listening devices. I don't want to bust out any. If you're listening on your TV and you have your bass hooked up to this, just get ready. And that goes on for like 30 seconds. But last year was all about super long clips of all the stud rookies that I liked. We're back on the clock. Just a little taste of how T-Mac dominated in college. He was that guy.
I think we need a receiver here. DJ Moore is a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
I think as our second, that's pretty fun.
He's on the Bills. Easy as that. He can have big spike weeks. If Lamar was still there in round 6, it's an auto click for me. So I'll reserve the right to do that. But it would have been kind of tough to get our first wide receiver at picks or our second wide receiver at pick 64. We might have just got like all of our favorite options because we're not that close to the turn. There's still 6 picks to go. And imagine we get there and even your guy like, well, P-Wash he's there. Okay, so like even P-Wash could have been gone. We haven't talked about it yet.
I'm not afraid for the reach up. I do it all the time. I'm not going to pressure you or anything, but
this is kind of how I would rank them in my head, and it's very ambiguous to me, but I'm open to it. Did you happen to read PPR Tyler's Substack on Parker Washington?
I haven't read it yet. No, I watched his film breakdown though.
Okay, so that's like the same thing. Well, I have not read it yet. I saw that he posted it, and I like that he's posting those things. But I was curious to see if you had read it. Maybe there's some insights. But give me like the 1 minute or like the 10-second on P-Wash. Oh, and he goes. We get sniped, dude. We should have had him. It was before ADP.
I know
we'll make this pick and then we'll come back. Man. I know. We'll make the pick. We'll come back to the P-Wash take.
We could take Marv though.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to Marv on this receiver build over Tyson, but if you're really high on Tyson, I'm with it. But I'd be cool with Marv as well.
Let's do Marv. I do take a good amount of Marv.
The reason being is like when we start 3 straight running backs, we have 3 wide receiver 1s on their team now, which that just feels good.
Marv is a touchdown machine. People forget he had 8 touchdowns his rookie year. I think it was 4 last year. One sheet that I put together, I'll just share it with you super quick. I have a thing called a year 3 watch, and it's all of the wide receivers who are going into year 3. It's the year 3 cohort, that class. So it's guys like Troy Franklin, Coleman, Leggett, Coker, Pearsall, and just high level what we're looking at. 9.4 fantasy points per game in half PPR. In full PPR is where I kind of pulled the data from, but he's about 11, 12 his first 2 seasons, but 9.4 and half, 0.4 touchdowns per game is incredibly good. In 29 games is not like a small sample size. Neighbors is insane. Neighbors is the best wide receiver in his class. He's at 13.9 per game, a little bit smaller sample size, but 0.5 touchdowns per game. Look at guys that go ahead of Marvin Harrison in the same class. Rome Odunze, 0.8 compared to, or 8.4 compared to the 9.4. The 0.3 touchdowns compared to the 0.4. The same amount of games. Harrison has more receiving yards per game, more receptions per game, similar targets, better yards per reception, similar air yards. So like Marvin Harrison goes after Rome, and Rome is like at best, I would think, going to be the 3rd target earner on the Bears. I think Harrison could be the 2nd target earner on the Cardinals. Bears are a better team, but Harrison is kind of a do-it-all. I think Rome is more of a pure deep threat.
Yeah, fourth overall pick. He's going to get one more chance. One thing to touch on though, before I forget, with Parker Washington, you asked like
Please.
one little point as to why I like him and bullish on him, and it's going to sound so simple, but he's just good at football. Like simple
that
as
easy?
that. He's good at football. I don't care where he's drafted. I don't care that he was taken in the 5th or 6th round. Like who else was? Stephon Diggs, Puka Nacua, Tyreek Hill. The list goes on and on about good receivers.
Okay.
And like
I like it.
first round pick, I don't care about Brian Thomas being drafted in the 1st round. Fucking Xavier Legette was drafted in the 1st round, and we're taking Coker above him, who went undrafted. Like, who cares?
Spicy. I like it. I like the take. We're back on the clock here. It's going to be, so we have a 3-3 build, of course, when we went 3 running backs, 3 receivers,
DK.
81, and then 88.
DK smash. Another wide receiver 1.
Yeah, that's easy. I'm just going to line up. We didn't get P-Wash. I'm going to line up some other picks. Maybe we'll
I think we got to be sneaky, man. I think we got to watch our mouth.
Ned's sniping us in here.
These folks are listening,
Savage.
man. Hey, yo, we got Pounders in the chat too. What's up?
What
Pat?
up, Pat? How we doing, brother? Good to see my man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're drafting some shippers, man. We're trying out here. Actually, somehow, and I'm not too surprised because Jeary is a veteran of the streets. I feel like we have slightly different takes, but we're very in line with our structures and our team builds. And so we've been kind of mixing our different takes and building out some sick teams. I'll say that.
I honestly think structure could be more important than player takes if you're a volume drafter, because you're gonna get diverse. You're gonna mix things in. You're gonna have people you draft more and less of. But if you have the right structure, that's why I usually have I've always had a higher advance rate. I think it's more so structure based.
Sharp drafter. Goomba says, we're still talking about Theo Johnson. You guys are crazy. That was the last draft, and you're still talking. They're still fighting about tight ends in the chat. I can't. You're like, give me the TLDR version. They're fighting. They're debating the late tight ends.
How do you feel about Mahomes?
Yes, we don't have a QB. I was going to queue him up, but I didn't want to do it in front of everyone. And we have the Ken Walker connection. Anything else here that we would want to do over Mahomes?
No, it's QB.
Yeah.
For me, I like these receivers, but as our 5th, I don't see the difference between taking like a Diggs or Shaheed or Wandale.
If you would have told me you felt really strong about Corum and the Rams, I could see us throwing him in there and then just being like done with 4 running backs potentially. But we're in a great spot. We did that. We've done this kind of all night where we get the skill position players we really like early. We take an early-ish QB. This is probably the furthest we've pushed QB, and the team's looking really good. So through our first 8 rounds, 1, 3, 4, we go JT Ken Walker, Breece Hall, nice value there, T-Mac, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Metcalf, and Mahomes. Do you remember the team that won Best Ball Mania? And this is a pug draft, so it's much different. But the team that won Best Ball Mania 2 years ago, BBM5, El Gru's team, he actually had Joe Burrow in the 8th round, was his first QB. Mahomes in the 8th is not like, it's almost like from the same cloth. It's like Mahomes has been not the guy we've expected for fantasy for a couple of years now, but it could just, would you be that surprised if Mahomes smashed and next year we're drafting him like back in like the 5th or 6th round?
Do you remember what I said about Parker Washington, that he's just good at football? This is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about. Like,
Hell yeah.
This guy's already a Hall of Famer. And I'll be honest, I don't draft a ton of him because like I don't draft too much Rashee Rice, but I mix him in a lot as like a naked quarterback because you can get a lot of backstacks easily. And he's fun to pair up with Kenneth Walker too. I think Kenneth Walker is going to catch 3-4 passes a game.
Ooh, that'd be nice. I would like that for sure. And maybe they just like, he's just on the field. They just never let him get off the field. They're using him in those ways and passing downs too. I was surprised. I was looking for Rashee Rice. We haven't seen him in any of our drafts tonight because we've only drafted from the 9 spot and the 10 spot. And Rashee Rice is just stuck over there at the 2-3 turn. So like we haven't even thought about Rashee Rice once tonight. We haven't had the chance to.
Dude, I've seen him slip into the 30s recently, though, again. Like,
You
more
did?
than once.
I would
Pretty,
snap him up. I would snap him up in the 30s. I'm still in on Rashee Rice. If it's the legal thing, I'm always fading legal. If it's the health, then I guess I'm not too worried. And when he's healthy, he's been really good. I've got him in like a dynasty best ball league that's PPR, and he's just so good when he's in the lineups. Like he puts up huge weeks.
Yeah, I'm still a little underweight on Rice. I do personally like Devonta Smith more. Dude, Purdy's just kind of fun. I like
Purdy's
back
kinda
stacks
fun.
too.
Do you like Rachaad White at all?
If we take him, I would want to stop at 4 running backs, and I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay, let's go
I
Purdy
think
because I think
I like
he's
the
the
Purdy
best.
value, man. Like
Yeah, it's a good value.
in the 100s, it feels good. If it wasn't Purdy, like my favorite pick on the board is Michael Pittman, but we do already have DK Metcalf.
Sure.
I'm open to getting 3 quarterbacks still with Mahomes and Purdy.
Gotcha. I am open to it if it makes sense. We've set ourselves up to be able to get like Brissett, Bryce Young, maybe Aaron Rodgers late. Also, all 3 of those guys are pretty suspect. So if we pass on them and just stick with Mahomes and Purdy, we're probably better off. Like who knows? Like so we're set up for that ability to go either way with it. You haven't
Yeah, we're
jumped on
set up
Rachaad
pretty
White
well.
tonight. I'm curious your thoughts on him. Do you think it's more of a Bill backfield or is it Katron or is it just not a good backfield?
I don't know how to feel about it. Like Rachaad White, he doesn't excite me too much. I take him. I'm overweight on him.
Any of these picks
But
excite for a RB4 or do we want to take our first tight
yeah,
ends? Fannin again. Who
kind of
knows?
watch our words a little bit. But I think Rachaad White or Jordan Mason is the pick. Kittle would be interesting.
We
With
have
Purdy, I don't have much of him at all. He still kind of scares me.
Just because he's one of the best tight ends of the last decade, or
If you like Kittle,
is it
I'm
just-
totally open to it. You want Kittle?
I kind of do on this
Let's
team
do
since
it.
we have Purdy. But do you really should we go Mason or you're saying Mason or White was what you were thinking first?
Let's go Kittle. We have 3
Okay.
really good running backs. Because if we take Rachaad White or Jordan Mason, I'm probably leaning towards stopping at 4, unless we
Yeah.
take one like round 18. Like that. If we took a running back there, I would say this is a perfect Kalen Black team,
Okay. Yeah, it still
especially
could
with
be.
San Francisco. And yeah, still could be. Everyone else in the room didn't hear that, but no one wants him anyways.
They'll
Okay.
forget. It's a pug. They'll forget by then. We're only in round 10. With Kittle, my trade-off in my head is it's week 17 and we're in the final. We have Kittle. I feel like we're not behind at any position. He could be the guy we need. If he's healthy by then, hopefully the season goes well, no setbacks. But if I'm there and if we have Mason or Rachaad White, they'll both have to still supplant one of our top 3 running backs to get into our lineup. And I kind of want these guys to be in our lineup.
Yeah.
And I think there's other pieces we can get that can be carrying the season long, covering like bye weeks or injury weeks. If any of those top 3 guys miss a couple games, like not like an ACL, but like a hammy or a groin, they miss like 3 or 4 games. There's some fill-in guys later that might not be as expensive, but being able to get access to Kittle, I can sell myself on it. I've been a pretty big Kittle fan. I feel like every year I draft him like 12 to 15%.
Yeah, it's just the age and like kind of recent history of soft tissue injuries gives me a little pause.
Yeah.
But he is George Kittle. Now I'm curious to know what you think about these Pittsburgh receivers. I see some people in the chat talking about Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf, thinking Pittman might just be straight up better than DK, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but I like both of them. Curious to hear what you think.
John says here, like Pittman's a sharp free square. I do think Pittman goes a little bit late. When he's on the Colts, sometimes we'd be drafting him higher. Sometimes we were drafting him lower. He's been kind of up and down. Pittman here goes 106. I think in this range, it's a pretty good price on a new team. that can be bad for receivers sometimes being on a new team. I remember when DK Metcalf was the dynasty wide receiver 1 in a lot of people's books, a few years ago. I'm curious to see. I think Pittman can earn more targets than Metcalf if they're both healthy the whole time, but I think Metcalf might be able to do more with less. And it's really where the touchdowns go, I think, is going to matter the most, especially in this format. So I think I'm drafting them both, and I'm not really afraid of either one.
I've been hoping for Kelsey, man. I've been staring at that board, hadn't seen his name go.
Oh,
dude, smash.
I wasn't going to say anything about it. I was just acting like, I didn't.
I know. I know you're thinking it too, man. I was looking there. I'm seeing all this green.
Well, it was
all this
these
yellow
two. These
go off
two
the
scared
board.
me.
Yes,
I was
sir.
ranting, but I was at the same time, I was like, blue. Oh, can't believe it.
Dude, how perfect. We stacked up both of our quarterbacks with both of our tight ends. We started with the 3 running backs, 4 straight receivers, 2 straight quarterbacks, and 2 straight tight ends. The OCD bros are very satisfied right now.
Jeary, there's going to be a big problem next season when we not only ship Best Ball Mania, but the Fast Puppy and the Pug. People are going to be like, how did these guys do it? We just got on a heater on one random Thursday night in July, and no one's going to believe the teams that we've come out with. But if anything, I think this one is this team is, I wish I had this team across any tournament. If I could copy paste this in and then land it from here, any tournament, I would do that a lot.
Yeah, I would say the cherry on top would have been if Rashid Shaheed came back because I love him, but he's gone. I wouldn't be afraid of mixing in the missile if you want another running back here because we can still go 5. You're out on him. That's okay.
I'm so out on him, but
you want your guy Omar?
We could.
You said he's your guy that you reach for.
I do reach for him. I kind of like him. Maybe it's time to go back to wide receiver. We've
could go
taken a break.
Quarterback if there's anyone that stacks. I don't know if we need one here though. I'm cool with your guy Omar.
It would have been him or McMillan, I think. And let's get a round 1 rookie.
I like McMillan over Omar personally, but just because you said he was your guy that you like to reach up for, I want him on one of the teams that we draft.
Let's get him in there. I feel like I'm overdrafting him right now. He's kind of been a guy I've been taking a lot lately. Just it clicks for him. He's a first-round pick. He's on the Jets. I'm also one of the biggest A.D. Mitchell faders. So, A.D. Mitchell, Texas X, we're both Longhorns. Love him for that. He did great while he would play for Longhorns that one season. It was fun. Almost went to the college football championship game that Quinn Ewers overthrew him in the 4th quarter by inches. I was actually there. It was New Year's Day in New Orleans, and it was against Michael Penix in Washington. With Rome Odunze was there, McMillan was there, and it was A.D. Mitchell going up the last throw of the game for the Longhorns. Quinn Ewers throws it 2 inches above his hands. If he would have caught it and brought it down, Longhorns would have won. They lose. Washington goes to the Natty and gets crushed. But all that to say, I used to love A.D. Mitchell, and I liked him as a college player. He's not good in the NFL level. There's a reason why the Colts got rid of him. He doesn't have what it takes to be an NFL player from what they're telling me. I'm not making that opinion. That's what the NFL is telling me. He ends up on the Jets. And I think the Jets are doing a similar thing to the Browns, where it's the youth movement. Last year, they brought in guys like Mechie and guys like A.D. Mitchell, just throwing something to a wall to see what sticks. They weren't that good. They weren't good at all. Garrett Wilson was hurt. He comes back. Now they got Sadiq, a first-round pick. They've got Omar Cooper, a first-round pick. This is a brand new thing, a brand new quarterback. So I don't want any part of A.D. Mitchell. I think he's one of the most overdrafted players for how bad he's been his first 2 years in the league. And he's on the Jets. So let me get Omar Cooper. So that's how I've talked myself into being more in on Cooper. And I think some people might not remember that he's a first round pick, or they don't like the Jets, but then I see A.D. Mitchell getting 100% drafted and it kind of confuses me. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
I'm Debo right here. Cam Ward's a faller though if you want a third quarterback.
Where did Debo go? He's way down here. Cam Ward, we don't have a way to. Do you want to do Bryce, or do you want to do Cam Ward?
I would take the falling Cam Ward.
Okay, let's do Debo first.
Oh, we got Debo. That's fine. I think Bryce will hopefully come back to us.
He could. I don't know if these guys will take him without any stacks. And sometimes Bryce does kind of fall there. I was going to try to see where
Yeah.
Coker was.
Reason I'm kind of happy taking the receiver there is I think the guys on the right side of the board of us will probably take some receivers. We'll see if that happens. Happened at the last turn, and guys like Naylor and Tucker were pulled up as well.
I'm glad we got Debo
goes-
because you've mentioned Debo in every draft, and we finally get him. And I'm not out on Debo either. And I think as soon as he lands somewhere, he shoots up the board like 20, 30, 50 picks.
Well, especially on like teams where I feel a little thin at wide receiver at the start of the draft. Like if I'm going 0 RB, I'm not really drafting Debo. But if I'm, if I have Tedder or McMillan as my wide receiver 1, it's a Debo Samuel ass team.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a 2-3-6-2. We still have those 3 running backs. We're kind of barbelling it. We haven't taken a running back since, but is there a single running back here that does it for you at 160?
No, I mean, this is our 3rd draft from the same spot. We're kind of running into the same scenarios.
Gadsden's there. Well, he's a big
Gadsden's
faller.
a nice fall.
He's a bring back on our.
We could
on
push
our
3rd
sheets.
quarterback. We have Pittsburgh. We have Jets. I'm happy with Gadsden or Bigsby.
I went Gadsden.
We got like an extra 3 seconds right there, man.
I was doing.
I know it's so tough sometimes, man. It's so tough. Bryce could even fall back to us. Like he falls to the 170s. Not
sure.
It's not uncommon.
We took these QBs and ended up backstacking them, made it work so that we wouldn't have to force the Bryce T-Mac. It would be nice. It could still work. I was actually more in between because Gadsden to me, young tight end paired up with these old guys. We had some concerns about Kittle. So now we feel good with those 3 tight ends. And it's like a week 17. The Chargers Chiefs is like a big point total for week 17. So I'm excited to have a piece of the Chargers. Everyone's talking them up. We get a value on Gadsden at that. It does feel kind of funny to have 3 tight ends by the time we have 3 running backs, but those running backs were not the most convincing. I would have potentially wanted Bigsby there. And so that was where I was like torn.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky, but this is kind of how I like to build my teams and really lean into the 3 running backs. If I start 3 running backs, I'm expecting them to hit my 2 running backs and flex 80-90% of the time, except like when they're on bye week. Really.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I have Kittle, I don't draft him often, but I don't think he's playing week 1. And if he does, I think he's going to start off the season really slow. Just remembering when he came back from that hamstring last year, his first game, he got 0 catches. And he came out and said he literally just used it as cardio to get into football shape.
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember that for sure.
Do we really think
right.
he's just going to be same old Kittle from the jump? And we took him for week 17, right? We took him late.
And the stack.
Just realized
Tank
everything could have been a week 17 with San Francisco, but I like the Gadsden pick when I have Kittle more, especially at 160. And seeing Schultz and Gunnar Helm go.
I was so torn. We get the ADP value on Gadsden plus the bring back plus the 3rd tight end, like you said, to cover Kittle is what sold me on him. But Bigsby would have been a nice RB4 on this team. We're just really sold on our top 3 RBs, and I think we should be. And in that case, we don't need much. We do have a bye week 13 kind of issue. We might want to grab 2 more running backs just for that reason, plus the injury, but they don't have to be expensive. We have 4 picks left, tack on 2 running backs, whatever makes sense. And then probably 2 more receivers. Maybe we could do maybe if Aaron Rodgers is there, we have DK. If we wanted to go Brissett super late, that's not crazy either.
Yeah, I'm still super happy with our 2 quarterbacks. We definitely do not need 3. And seeing these running backs fall makes me happy with our last pick. B-Rob, Dylan Sampson, I'm happy with either of them. I think B-Rob, he like has higher contingent upside.
Yeah.
which I think we could use on this running back team.
And it's as long as it's not week 13, we should be good. Let's do B-Rob. One thing I'll sell you on with him, new head coach Stefanski for the Falcons. Prime Nick Chubb only got 55% of the snaps. We still had Kareem Hunt getting a bunch of snaps. Bijan's been close to 70% of snaps. I think it might come down a little bit, but it probably doesn't come down to 55%. So Bijan's just a different guy. But I think there is some standalone value for Brian Robinson. He's a short yardage specialist. He's good at converting those. And Bijan last year was 39th among running backs on either 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. I don't know if that's the offensive line's fault, the bad play calling or bad scheming to get Bijan, because obviously Bijan's not bad. So like, why would that be the stat that like is his issue? For whatever reason, though, if B-Rob can convert some of those, and some of them are goal line touches or like the contingent value, we've seen Brian Robinson handle a workload before. So I think he's like pretty cheap. I think it's fine. He's terrible in managed, but in best ball, he's way better in best ball.
Yeah,
Keep him on the waiver wire until in managed until actually Bijan has a hamstring and misses a week or two.
Yeah, and right here, I think I like the Jeary queue up or Rodgers. I think I might lean towards Rodgers on this team. Let's see our receivers. Do you think we can stop at 7? Or
Yes.
would you feel more comfortable with 8? I think we can stop at 7.
I'm always down to stop at 7 receivers, especially when we're hitting the flex with a running back.
We have to remember this isn't a best ball mania or puppy either. It's a 124 seat final, which is significantly less, and 1 out of 5 for the pods. So getting more of like a 3-5-7-3 build, I think works for this tournament.
We don't have to like perfectly have the nuts. We just need a team that's strong, and so we don't want to like sell ourselves short in the onesies either. I think is kind of what you're saying there. Kind of smart. Like we didn't have to go Rodgers, but we got him at a pretty decent value. I've seen people take Rodgers like 150 before. I'm not that crazy about a super old quarterback in that way. We already had DK though, so it's another easy out. What if for whatever reason this team is awesome, the running backs are all smashing, but let's say Mahomes misses week 15 with like something, but he's going to come back, and if we only had Purdy, we have like one shot at getting that 1 out of 5. Now at least we have 2 paths where it's like, well, Rodgers could also have a decent game, put up 18 or 20 points, just float this team. If Purdy had a down week or Mahomes had a down week and the other one was injured for like a short duration. I think about that a lot. I've had a lot of teams over the last years that I've drafted a lot of, high volume. And I've had a ton of situations where a QB gets injured just going into the fantasy playoffs, or they miss like 1 game or 2 games, and having a little bit more resiliency has kind of turned me into more of a 3 QB bro.
Yeah, we talked about the 3 quarterbacks versus 2 quarterbacks earlier in this stream. So getting a 3 quarterback build at the end, I think does feel quite nice. And we got him at a value too. Like you said, we didn't reach. Sometimes he goes in the 150s. We see Geno. Where did Geno go? 167 right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty
I
high
like
him.
that value on Rodgers. I'm Rodgers over Geno straight up too. So happily.
It's funny that for the last 20 years, there's probably not a single year we would draft Geno over Rodgers, except now we're doing it. But
that's hilarious.
It's
when you
like,
really think about it, like actually think about it. Geno Smith is going above Aaron Rodgers in fantasy football drafts.
This is the future we live in. Something happened a few years back. Alternate timeline.
What receivers are we looking at?
I think, do you want to grab our last running back that's not week 13?
Dude, this is a Kalen Black ass team.
It could be. Okay, but he's okay. Let's save it. Let's do receiver.
I'm pretty open to whatever receiver you're kind of feeling down here.
Yeah, we haven't done Noel yet.
Like when looking at guys that are going to get points, I don't think Kayshon Boutte is going to be a 0. I think people are bored of him, but if someone's just going to get points, it feels like pretty good. You could take Tyquan Thornton if you wanted to get a little weird with Mahomes. You're not in?
No, it's a little bit cute for me. I just don't think Taekwon can earn the targets, and so you're looking for like a spike week at the perfect time, and that's very hard to predict if he's not going to consistently get targets. With Butte, I think he can kind of have a nice spot, and I liked him coming out of LSU. I thought he was pretty talented. So then I'm down. I don't have a lot of Butte. I think it's kind of a fun, and we don't have any Patriots. Not a bad team to have a piece of.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a 0. And if he does get traded, then it's probably going to be a pretty good round 17, 18 pick.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he's the wide receiver 3. That's not crazy. We have he's going undrafted, and you have like the wide receiver 4 on the Bucks, 100% drafted. Sometimes they take Tez Johnson, like the wide receiver 5 on the Bucks. Nez loves Keenan Allen. This is something I've learned.
I don't hate it. Do we want a running back?
Yeah, Black.
Kalen Black's my favorite round 18 pick. Could be a complete 0. I think we could eat the 0 on this team if it happens to be. But, man, if he is just the RB2 and a straight-up handcuff, they have said they want to give McCaffrey a bit of relief. Is that going to happen? Probably unlikely, but, hey, who knows? If he can fall in the end zone a couple times, could just be a decent pick. And if something happens, it could be a league winner.
In week 13, we're hoping we get Ken Walker, obviously, in the lineup. Because if we don't, it's just Brian Robinson and Black that we have for those 2 spots. So it is pretty scary. But I have a question for you, Jeary. How much money do you win in week 13 of these tournaments?
I believe the answer is $0.
Okay.
Handyman.
Just checking. So I'm playing for week 17 in all of these tournaments, unless it's the Elam, whole different story. But yeah, like, let's just go for gold. Let's try to get there and win.
I am not afraid to draft like luck is on my side. I feel like you need to win real money, and I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
And BBG's out here trying to sabotage this team. We're out here drafting shippers, and this guy's throwing Kendrick Bourne out here. What are we doing? Go to sleep.
That was we actually drafted Kendrick Bourne on a team earlier tonight with Easy. We took Brissett and then backstacked him with Kendrick Bourne. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god, that's disgusting. That's not
deep.
That is crazy. Like, you need to check
we just took Kalen Black and Butte. Very similar.
Not at all.
Dude, this team is so strong.
Draft your
We
Kendrick
could
Bourne.
afford it.
I've taken Odell Beckham Jr. and a puppy, so
that's even worse. Okay, let's play the game, because I was kind of surprised. I used to like Kendrick Bourne, and I forgot about him. We're gonna quiz Jury's ball knowledge, because he's been kicking BBG about the Kendrick Bourne take right here. Kendrick Bourne. We could do last season. I don't know these answers. We could do the last couple seasons. What do you think the most touchdowns he's had in the last 2 years in a single season?
most touchdowns. I bet it's sneaky. I'm gonna say 4.
What about most yardage in a single season?
I'm gonna say 517.
Most receptions in a single season. The last 2 years, maybe 3. We'll just see. But like what do you think?
36.
Damn, dude, you literally hit it on the head. 36, 37, 500, probably the average right there. 4 was the most. Ball knower.
Dude, I just threw shit against the wall right there. But hey,
Yeah.
certified ball knower.
Ball knower and a meat knower. And we drafted some shippers tonight.
Awesome.
These are some sick teams.
That was
S tier grade 2. BBG, I got an S tier grade. Are you serious? Are you just pulling my leg? A, appreciate you, Nez. Always fun draft with you. Seen here. Thanks for joining. Guys, subscribe to the Badge Bros. Don't be afraid to scroll the F down. Go check them out. Also, we got BBG in here. Shout out to BBG for Raiden earlier. The Tower for Raiden for hosting me on this week as a guest host. Make sure you're subscribed to BBG. But everyone here is. Everyone subscribed to Jeary, to Nez at the Badge Bros, to BBG, to all the bros we've given shout outs tonight. You guys are all in the chat. You guys know who we are. You guys know the crowd. If you're here on July 16th, you're a real one. But for whatever reason, if you're new here tonight, if you're just joining us, you're watching this later in the future, and you're coming across this crazy best ball draft in the middle of July, then make sure you check out the homies. Yeah, can you believe that? I thought for sure, because I know Bourne has we'll do a player profiler real quick. I know he's got a year where he put up 7 touchdowns, but I guess it's been a long time. He's been in the league for a while. He was on the Patriots, right? He was on the Niners. He's
Dude,
31.
he had like 2 sick games last year.
Oh, it was never 7. It was 5. 800 yards in 5 is what I was thinking of. I was
Man,
thinking
that's
that was
pretty
more
good.
recent than it was. So that was
Looking at the
yeah,
fall
two
off though
games.
is interesting. That's like one thing that's a good thing to look at when we're looking at like teams that or players that really seem to break out. Like
It doesn't always
you
go
could
up.
use that
Sometimes
as
it goes back down.
is Parker Washington just Kendrick Bourne? You could say
Oh
that
shit.
based off those stats right there. But I think the answer is no.
I think so
I hope the answer is no, man.
a 24-point week is PPR, 19-point week. So like some good weeks. Let's just do this though. With Bourne, here's who he is. Nothing to write home about. Year 1, 2, 3, didn't get past 500 yards until year 4. He had some touchdown kind of decent outputs. And then yards per reception, actually his best was last year, tied with his 2021, which is his career year, 55. So 1, 2, 3, 4 year, kind of a true year 5 breakout. And everything else
That's
is
a lot
more
different then.
yeah, it's not. It's P-Wash. You got to give him credit. Like the true
Yeah, thank goodness.
year 3 breakout.
Dude, just look at this guy. Pure aura.
Different trajectory completely. The first 2 look similar, but the third year is way different.
Yeah, I just saw the 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But I'm a believer, man.
Look at this. Do you ever look at the EPX?
No clue what that is.
All right,
I've never seen those letters put together.
Okay, so last year during the big board, I went down the rabbit hole of the explosive play per. And so EPX is explosive plays per, in this case, reception. And so he was number 4. Number 100 would be like the average for like starters at wide receiver. He's number 4 across all wide receivers on per reps reception, per opportunity, his number of explosive plays, which is just a catch when you get 20 yards or more. And for rushes, it's 10 yards and more. He had 18 20 yards or more catches last season. That's that's 8th overall, and just like the raw number. The rate is scaled to like his opportunities, but just raw number, he was number 8. Like all this green to me is sexy. It's a reason to keep buying. Not the most repeatable thing, like the big plays, but just someone who can have those big plays, an offense that generates the big plays, the connection with the QB that's stable, the coaching is good. I think the biggest difference between P-Wash and Trevor Lawrence from 2 seasons ago to last season is now it's the Liam Cohen strategy. And we immediately see who it benefits and who it doesn't. So I think that there's some signal there to like follow and to chase. The dude broke out at 23, turning 24 years old, Penn State. So much to love here. Like I don't know who's going to be what role for the Jags, but like I'm going to just draft Parker Washington like where he's going and like not worry about it.
Dude, he's just good at football. Plus, he was Trevor Lawrence's go-to target in desperate situations. 3rd down, he was going to Parker Washington. When he was scrambling, he's looking for Parker Washington. All levels of the field, too. He gets some rush attempts out of the backfield, gets stuff in the short game, gets long crossers over the middle, and is used in the red zone. Baller.
Enough said. We drafted a 3-5-7-3 in this pug. Mahomes, Purdy, Rodgers, backstacked Mahomes and Purdy. Actually, we had Ken Walker, so that was kind of our segue into Mahomes. JT, Walker, Brees Hall, B-Rob, Kalen Black. Sick running back room. T-Mac, DJ Moore, Harrison, Metcalf. I think you're right. Like those 4 receivers all being potentially the wide receiver 1 on their team saves the wide receiver room. We get the rookie upside, a veteran who's going to shoot up the board, and then a late dart throw. Doesn't hurt that he was pretty good at touchdowns last season on a good offense. Tight ends, pretty nice. Very, for the OCD types, very good to get your QBs and your tight ends stacked up. I like this team. I think it's another fun, strong team. Gets kind of wild there with the B-Rob and Kalen Black, but you got to have faith in the investment up top, right?
Dude, I'm I'm with it. I don't mind drafting thin teams, especially when I get real strong running backs. I'm happy you talked me into the Kittle pick because I think it's pretty perfect for this team and how it came together. And if something happens to either Bijan or CMC, then both of the picks were worth it.
For sure. That's kind of crazy too that we have that leverage. We don't have CMC on this team, but we have a lot of investment in the Niners. So then, and then yeah, Bijan. I think Brian Robinson. Imagine a situation where Bijan was good most of the season, but he pulls his hamstring and misses the fantasy playoffs. We go into it with 3 dominant running backs if they're healthy, and then the Brian Robinson on the Falcons, he's obviously not going to do what Bijan was doing, but he'll do what Brian Robinson used to do when Brian Robinson was the 1A on his, Commanders teams back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more than happy with it. And I think we caught up well at receiver too.
Hell yeah. All right. We did it. Oh, forgot that was there. Whoops. Let's do this one. Nope, that's not it. There
Let's
it is.
keep it, man. Roll with it. There we go.
We're gonna roll with it. I was trying to get rid of this thing, the overlay. Jeary, pleasure drafting with you. It'd been too long for us to finally get together, but we made it happen. Our schedules finally lined up, so I appreciate having you on. We'll have to draft more together soon. I'd love to come on your channel as well and draft. And I think we did some good teams tonight. What else do you have going on? Drafts lined up, drafting tomorrow. What do you got, brother?
Yeah, man. We'll definitely get you on the channel and we'll figure out a time for that. Like I mentioned to you, I'm going to be off the first 2 weeks of August, so it'll be really easy to plan stuff around
Nice.
other people's schedule. But man, I'm drafting every day. I'm streaming every day. I didn't do one on my channel today because we out here with the garage for 2.5 hours drafting real shippers, man. But yeah, drafting every day. It's my first year streaming. I'm having a ton of fun doing it, being really welcomed by the community, and everyone in here is so great, man. So yeah, I'll catch you guys again January 4th, 2027 when I'm $2 million richer or splitting 1 million with Candyman.
Hell yeah. I just ended the poll. Last thing, you know what reminded me? Right now, your room is dark mode and my room is light mode. So we're kind of opposites because you're more the light room. I put the poll out there.
I see
57% said dark on the phone. We'll have to get some more research. We need a bigger sample size, but I think you're losing this one. We'll find out.
Hey, that's okay. I like to get different. But that JCM and C-Rod one was a good good
call
to go because it was 50-50, man.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure to sub to Jeary Football. We'll catch y'all in another draft real soon. Peace out.